A great good evening, ladies and gentlemen. On this special day of Platinum Jubilee, the 76th Independence Day, we welcome all on this digital platform. Today's dignitaries from all sorts of renowned fields, today's honorable guest speakers, Mr. Gopinath Rao, IADS Deputy Director of MSME Development Institute, Government of India, and Dr. Samir Barwasa, Mission Director, United Nations Conference on Trade and Development, Emprotech Entrepreneurship Global Network, Mission Assam and Senior Advisor, India, from Guwahati, Assam. And Mrs. Sucheta Acharya Madam, International Awardee Entrepreneur, from Hyderabad, respected members of various business forums. And, dear friends, on behalf of Ministry of Micro, Small and Medium Enterprises, Development and Facilitation Office of Government of India, and the Federation of Indian Industry and Professionals, we wish all of you a very happy 76th Independence Day, the Azadi Ka Amrut Mahotsav, to celebrate the glorious history of Indian people, culture, and achievements. Today's host team is the Federation of Indian Industry and Professionals, Founder Director, Mr. Navnath Diokarji, Co-Founder, Mrs. Urmila Diokarji, Directors and members of all verticals. We are known for our culture, rituals, and humanity. It is our honor to uphold our tradition, therefore, I respectfully request that our distinguished guest, Ashok Ankule, and Captain Satish Pandey, to lit up the lamp. Mr. Ashok Ankule is ex-officer of Indian Air Force, and Captain Satish Pandey is retired and served in an assault engineer regiment in central and western India. Sir, kindly
करूँ कांदा करूँ Good. Thank you, sir. Thank you. Yes.
Thank you, sir. Ladies and gentlemen, it is my privilege to take an opportunity to call everyone for our national anthem. Please stand up.
जन गण मन अधिनायक जय हे भारत भाग्य विधाता। पंजाब सिंध गुजरात मराठा द्राविड उत्कल बंगा। विंध्य हिमाचल यमुना गंगा उच्चल जलधि तरंगा। तव शुभ नामे जागे तव शुभ आशीष मांगे। गाहे तव जय गाथा जन गण मंगलदायक जय हे भारत भाग्य विधाता। जय हे जय हे जय हे जय 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 हे।
भारत माता की
जय।
Thank you. We request everyone to please sit. Now, here we have today's agenda of program. Now, it is time to learn the fundamentals of Federation of Indian Industry and Professionals. The Federation of Indian Industry and Professionals. Unite together, succeed together. The Federation of Indian Industry and Professionals is a unique, multi-stakeholder organization of visionary industrialists, businessmen, and professionals who share a commitment in shaping the future of industry and society at large. The Federation of Indian Industry and Professionals is a not-for-profit organization. FIIP was established on the 1st of October 2020 with the objective of boosting a small and medium business movement across the country and becoming the voice of India's various business sectors. It serves its members and the whole society through the private and public corporate sectors within the country. FIIP is a lifeline for new startups, small and medium. It is a crucial platform for networking and collaboration for each stakeholder who is working for the nation-building cause and to build Atmanirbhar Bharat. FIIP is actively engaged in the welfare of business community and general society. It encourages debate and organizes engagement programs with policymakers, Indian private and public corporate sectors, multinational companies, regional chambers of commerce, industrial associations and professional associations in each state of the country. FIIP has created a cluster network of 40,000 plus GST practitioners and made available a platform for networking and consensus building within and across sectors, and is the best platform for Indian industry, policymakers, and the international vision to facilitate and boost entrepreneurship and entrepreneurial development in the country, to support socio-eco development leaders throughout the nation, to encourage women power in various fields to meet Atmanirbhar Nari mission, creating a world-class talent body of 5 lakh influential and powerful industrialists, entrepreneurs, businessmen, women, and professionals through FIIP platform within 10 years. DNA, Sustainable Growth Empowerment and Purpose, helping business people, supporting economic development, creating industrial insights, inculcating industrial development, facilitating forums for professionals, solving problems with the right solutions, enhancing skills among business owners, and creating a common platform for building interpersonal relationships. Support for micro, small, and medium enterprises, businesses formulating applied strategies to meet challenges of various industries making society aware of social, health, and environmental. This is all about the fundamental elements of Federation of Indian Industry and Professionals. But to know more about the futuristic and innovative journey of Federation of Indian Industry and Professionals, I would like to call upon Navnathji Devkar sir, the founder and president of Federation of Indian Industry and Professionals. Before he takes over, I would like to brief about Navnath Devkar. Mr. Navnath Devkar was born in the Shivjanmabhoomi Junnar in Pune district of Maharashtra state. He always imagined serving the people of the country. In the year 1999, he started a career in the corporate world for a short period and then turned as an entrepreneur. He has been groomed with high culture, thought process by his parents to care for and support society, so he traveled to several states in the country in search of his calling. He started his venture through Vardhan Group of companies, where he focused on various verticals such as information technology, system integration, agriculture, agroforestry, insurance, and others, to serve society. He further extended his services to the people of the country through various vibrant platforms, with the support of both his family and spouse, to fully serve the people of the country. As of today, he has directly and indirectly cared for over 600 employees across the country. During his time of service, he felt that people need education on entrepreneurship to make them great business leaders. So, he founded an NGO called Federation of Indian Industry and Professionals, FIIP. And he started serving for the noble cause for various ventures. He continued working for the people of the country and started talking to various experts and started working strategically to guide and help the upcoming business leaders and aspirants. He researched many places and took on an expert team to understand how to run various platforms. He has created a cluster network of 40,000 plus GST practitioners and made available a platform for networking and consensus building within and across sectors, which is the best platform for Indian industry, policymakers, and the international business community. His vision is to see that FIIP, an NGO, becomes a service organization that will help entrepreneurs, industries, professionals, educationists, researchers and scientists, socialists, environmentalists and agriculturalists. He wants FIIP to extend the services to agriculture industry, mentoring education institute, and many more ventures. He further wants to bring success professionally, economically, socially, among all stakeholders, for building the nation with the more Mrs. Urmila Navnath Devkar was born in Manchar, in Pune district of Maharashtra state. She always imagined serving the women of the country. In the year 2006, she started her career in the corporate world for a short period, and then turned into her husband's business as an entrepreneur. She has received fundamentals of business through her parents to care for and empower women. She is in the capacity of co-founder and director of Federation of Indian Industry and Professionals. Her social experience as an entrepreneur made her feel a strong urge to help and to create an ecosystem to enable and aid the employment generated in small and medium-sized business sectors, especially for women. She leads a team of Vardhan Group of companies and plays an important role in building culture and work ecosystem. She passionately works for small and medium-sized entrepreneurs as the co-founder and director of FIIP. She is keen on sharing knowledge and experience with upcoming women entrepreneurs. She is always ready to support various startups to build the capacity of MSMEs to lead to innovative strategies for the development and capacity building framework. She wants to be a catalyst for women empowerment activities to create more and more Atmanirbhar Bharat ki Nari. Over to you, Navnath sir, to
सर आवाज म्यूट आहे.
थैंक यू प्रियंका, इट्स अ वेरी वंडरफुल इंट्रोडक्शन. आपने फिप के बारे में काफी अच्छी तरह से यहाँ पे इंट्रोडक्शन दिया है, एज वेल एज मेरे बारे में भी बहुत कुछ बताया है. इट्स थैंक यू वेरी मच. सो आज हम लोग सारे भारत में 76 इंडिपेंडेंस डे सेलिब्रेट कर रहे हैं. हर एक घर में हम लोग तिरंगा फहरा रहे हैं. आज 75th इंडिपेंडेंस एनिवर्सरी डे हम लोग यहाँ पे बड़ी खुशी से मना रहे हैं. आजादी का अमृत महोत्सव, यानी हमारा देश स्वतंत्र होने के बाद अभी 75 साल 75 ईयर्स हम लोगों ने सर्वाइव किया है. मैं सर्वाइव ये वर्ड यूज कर रहा हूँ, इसके पीछे एक बड़ा रीजन है. अगर हम लोग देखेंगे ईस्वी सन 1400 में अगर हम लोग की बात करते हैं, यहाँ से आज के डेट से पीछे अगर 600 साल अगर हम लोग जाते हैं, तो पूरी दुनिया में सबसे बड़ा इकोनॉमी जो था वो था हमारे हिंदुस्तान का. इसके पीछे की अगर हम लोग बात देखेंगे तो क्या बात हो सकती है, किसी ने सोचा है? इसका बेसिक रीजन था कि हमारा हर एक गांव स्वयंपूर्ण था, हर एक गांव की इकोनॉमी डेवलप हुई थी. इसकी वजह से पूरे दुनिया में, पूरे विश्व में हमारा इकोनॉमी सबसे ज्यादा था, सबसे बढ़िया था. यहाँ पे क्या नहीं था, सारी चीजें यहाँ थी. लेकिन पिछले 600 साल में ऐसा क्या हुआ जिसकी वजह से आज हमारा जीडीपी सबसे टॉप मोस्ट एरिया में, टॉप मोस्ट कंट्रीज में नहीं है. हमारे देश के पंतप्रधान माननीय नरेंद्र जी मोदी साहब चाहते हैं कि हमारा देश ट्रिलियन डॉलर्स का इकोनॉमी बने. अगर ट्रिलियन डॉलर्स का इकोनॉमी बनाना है, मोदी साहब का सपना है कि उनके टाइम टेन्योर में 5 ट्रिलियन डॉलर का इकोनॉमी देश का बने. ये बनाना है तो इसके लिए क्या करना पड़ेगा? हमारा उद्योग स्वयंपूर्ण करना पड़ेगा. और उद्योग स्वयंपूर्ण करना है तो इसलिए ये किसी एक का काम नहीं है. यहाँ पे जितने भी हम लोग उद्यमी हैं, हम सारे उद्यमी का ज्वाइंटली रिस्पॉन्सिबिलिटी बनता है कि हम इस सपने को पूरा करें. यहाँ पे बैठे हुए कितने लोगों को लगता है कि ये सपना पूरा होना चाहिए? प्लीज चैट बॉक्स में लिखिए. जितने भी उद्यमी यहाँ पे हैं, आप सब लोगों को कितने लोगों को लगता है कि 5 ट्रिलियन डॉलर का इकोनॉमी का सपना हमें पूरा करना चाहिए? और मुझे लगता है कि यहाँ पे जितने भी लोग हैं, सारे लोग यही चाहेंगे कि हमें ये इकोनॉमी डेवलप करना है. ओवरऑल द स्ट्रक्चर का अगर हम लोग यहाँ पे देखेंगे तो इंडिया में एग्रीकल्चर एक सेक्टर ऐसा है, अगर उसको मजबूत करें तो पूरी दुनिया का इकोनॉमी एक साइड पे हो जाएगा और हमारा इंडिया का इकोनॉमी एक साइड पे हो सकता है. हमारा इंडिया का जीडीपी सबसे ज्यादा हो सकता है. इसीलिए हम लोगों को हर एक इंडस्ट्रियल सेक्टर को बहुत नजदीक से देखना जरूरी है, उसके ऊपर काम करना चाहिए. खाली बातें करने से ये चीजें होने वाली नहीं है. हम लोग स्वतंत्र तो हो चुके, लेकिन ये स्वतंत्रता के दिन में हम लोगों को खुद को ये पूछना चाहिए कि रियली हम लोग स्वतंत्र हैं? रियली हम नेशन के लिए थॉट करते हैं? अगर हम हमारे आजू बाजू में देखेंगे तो मैं, मेरी बेबी, मेरे बच्चे और मेरी फैमिली, इसके अलावा हम लोग कुछ नहीं देखते हैं. रोड पे जब जाते हैं तो रोड पे क्या चल रहा है इससे हमें कुछ लेना देना नहीं होता है. इसीलिए हर एक की सोच यहाँ पे बदलनी चाहिए. और ये सोच, मुझे लगता है कि अगर इकोनॉमी डेवलप करना है तो इकोनॉमी डेवलपमेंट के लिए जो कंट्रीब्यूशन हम लोग जो उद्यमीज हैं, ये उद्यमीज इस सोच को बदला सकते हैं, इस सपने को पूरे कर सकते हैं. और हर एक बिजनेस की सस्टेनेबल ग्रोथ के ऊपर हम लोगों को देखना चाहिए. और ये कब हो सकता है? अकेला कोई भी आदमी कुछ भी नहीं कर सकता है. हम सब लोगों को यूनाइट होना चाहिए. इसलिए फिप का ब्रीद वाक्य है, यूनाइट टुगेदर सक्सीड टुगेदर. अगर हम लोगों को सक्सेस होना है तो हम लोगों को यूनाइट होना पड़ेगा. आज यहाँ पे आज के प्रोग्राम के जो स्पेशल गेस्ट हैं वो है कैप्टन सतीश पांडे, रिटायर एयरफोर्स ऑफिसर अशोक उनकिले सर. इसके साथ साथ में जिनके साथ आज हम लोग ये प्रोग्राम यहाँ पे बना रहे, जो प्रोग्राम हो रहा है वो एमएसएमई बैंगलोर जो डेवलपमेंट इंस्टीट्यूट है उनके साथ में आज हम लोग प्रोग्राम बना रहे हैं। वहाँ के जो एडीएस है डॉक्टर गोपीनाथ राव, उनका मैं यहाँ पे स्वागत करता हूँ और उनको धन्यवाद भी करता हूँ कि आप लोग जो इंडियन इंडस्ट्री के पीपल्स के लिए जो काम कर रहे हो, जो डेवलपमेंट एमएसएमई को डेवलप करने की जो कोशिश कर रहे हो, वो हम सब लोगों के लिए यहाँ पे बहुत अच्छा अपॉर्चुनिटी है। इसके साथ साथ में आज के प्रोग्राम में हम लोगों ने जिनको इनवाइट किया है वो है डॉक्टर समीर बुरौल सर, उनके साथ में मिसेस सुचेता आचार्य मैम जो इंटरनेशनल अवार्डी बिजनेस एंटरप्रेन्योर है। इसके साथ साथ में फीप के जो कोर फाउंडर है मिसेस उर्मिला जी देवकर जी, जो हमारी डायरेक्टर बॉडी है उसके जो सीनियर डायरेक्टर है वो है पोपटराव मोहिते सर, सीबी कातराबाद सर। इसके साथ साथ में पंकज कुमार पुकान सर जो आसाम से है और अतुल जी गोराडे सर। सब लोगों को यहाँ पे मैं वेलकम करना चाहता हूँ कि आज का जो प्रोग्राम है, ये प्रोग्राम में जो आप कॉन्ट्रीब्यूशंस कर रहे हैं, ये कॉन्ट्रीब्यूशन ये प्रोग्राम के लिए नहीं है, ये कॉन्ट्रीब्यूशन हमारे नेशन के लिए है और हमें नेशन को सशक्त बनाना है और नेशन को सशक्त बनाना चाहिए तो उसके लिए हमारा इकोनॉमी सशक्त बनना चाहिए। और वो इकोनॉमी सशक्त बनाने के लिए हम लोगों को जो हमारे बिजनेसेस है, जो खुद बिजनेस चलाते हैं, उसको किस तरह से हम लोग डेवलपमेंट फेज में लेके जा सकते हैं, उसको हम लोग किस तरह से ग्रो कर सकते हैं। ग्रो करना मतलब क्या है कि हम लोगों को हमारा बिजनेस का टर्नओवर बढ़ाना है, उसको परफॉर्म करना है और परफॉर्म करके हम सब लोगों को यूनाइटेड होके एक साथ लेके आके हम लोगों को सक्सेस की ओर जाना है। सो इसी के साथ मैं यहाँ पे रुकना चाहूंगा और अगला प्रोग्राम के लिए मैं प्रियंका को हैंड ओवर करना चाहूंगा। थैंक यू एवरीवन।
Thank you, Nivnath sir, for shedding light on FIIP, which is here to bring transformation among future business leaders, as well as youth, women, and farmers, among others. Now, I would like to introduce the director body of FIIP. Dr. Popatrav Mohite was born in Valchandnagar, in the Pune district of Maharashtra state. In the year 1981, he started a career in the corporate world and, at the same time, he began giving guidance to various business leaders and entrepreneurs. He has been groomed by the corporate culture. He was self-motivated and so he kept learning and mentoring in several areas to bring change among youth and aspirants in the country at large. He possesses the skills and knowledge to guide various sectors of business and their stakeholders. He started his venture through Creative Minds Mohite Associates, where he focused on various verticals such as agri-engineering, manufacturing, food process industries, insurance, government agencies, information technology, education, and animation to serve society. He further extended his services to the people of the country through various vibrant platforms with the support of his spouse. As of today, he has guided more than 1 lakh entrepreneurs across the globe. He mentors all sorts of organizations by providing practical workforce solutions to business owners and organizations across the globe, and he has completed a wide range of mentoring projects. He has been working on turnkey projects in a variety of industries, including government, information technology, education, animation, the food processing industry, engineering, manufacturing, and agriculture engineering. He actively contributes to various business and social platforms, trusts, and companies across the country and globe. He is a life member of various renowned national and international professional bodies. He felt that people needed practical education in business psychology for entrepreneurship to make them successful business leaders. So, he started another vertical, namely CMME's Dr. Mohit's Business Leaf Mentoring, dedicated exclusively to business and life mentoring. He is a blogger who inspires people to take charge of their lives on a daily basis. Thus, he is contributing to various startups and existing business ventures across the globe. He has been working for the people of the country and has been conducting mentoring, handholding services, and working strategically to guide and help the upcoming business leaders and aspirants meet the challenges in their personal and professional lives. He has a PhD degree from CWU internationally in behavioral science and business mentoring. He is a core business researcher and psychologist who has been advising various businesses, particularly SMEs, education, engineering manufacturing companies, agriculture, food processing industries, and IT, on how to achieve the desired results in people and processes. He has created a cluster network of business mentors of more than 1,000 and made available a platform for building networks within all sorts of business and social sectors, which is helpful for all business community members and their families to lead their businesses. His mission is to mentor 10 lakh aspirants of the business world, and his vision is to see that CMME's Dr. Mohit's Business Leaf Mentoring must become a catalyst to guide and help all kinds of professionals, educators, and business leaders. He wants to extend the services to mainly agriculture industries, healthcare, mentoring education institutes, and the Indian Police Force. He further on Mr. C.B. Katrabad is from a townlet called Udagi, in Taluka Akalkot, a place of the great sage Swami Samarth Maharaj, which is in Solapur district. He is an automobile engineer with PGDBM in marketing. He has 34 years of experience with a leading automobile company, namely Bajaj Auto Limited, where he held regional and national level positions. He has extensive exposure with field service functions as well as training and people development functions of marketing division. He is extremely good at planning, process, logical thinking, analyzing, problem solving, concepts, and other quality attributes. He has conceived, designed, and developed effective systems and streamlined processes that supports overall organizational health and empower teams to do their best to produce desired results and customer delight. One of his greatest qualities is learning and knowledge sharing. With his conceptual thinking ability, communication and presentation skills, and in-depth knowledge, he has established a world-class training center at Bajaj Auto Limited. He has mastered the art of identifying training needs, designing training modules, developing training contents, preparing training presentations, and delivering training programs in the context of technical expertise and soft skills. Alumni of this training center have not only contributed to the growth of the organization, but also excelled in their careers. He is proficient in technical writing that communicates to the reader and is adept at creating training audio visuals, films and animations that uncomplicate the complexities of the learning process. He has scripted and directed 26 episodes of a tele-training series on two-wheeler technology, repair, and maintenance, which were telecast on ZTV for local garage owners and technicians for enabling them to attend Bajaj vehicles in line with company procedure. Other than the tele-series, he has developed many training films for the company. Mr. C.B. Katrabad, as a person, is very humble, respectful, and helpful in nature. From his parents, he has ingrained philanthropic thoughts, spiritual thoughts, social upbringing, and support of nature for the needy. To utilize his acquired knowledge and skills after retirement, and to give something back to society, he founded his own company, Prosolutionist Services Private Limited. His company offers services in technical writing, developing audio visuals, and people development activities to various corporate companies, business houses, and MSMEs. His idea is to address the pain areas and provide effective and efficient solutions and guidance to organizations to excel in their performance and achieve business goals. On the other hand, his main focus is to support local garage owners and technicians by giving them training on the latest technology in 2- and 3-wheelers and their repairs and maintenance and upgrading their workshop setups and facilities at affordable cost. This will build their capability and competency to handle the latest technology vehicles and provide quality service to the end customers. Ultimately, he wants Dr. Pranjal Kumar Phukan was born and brought up at Champa in the Korba district of Chhattisgarh state and completed by graduation in engineering from Bitsindari, Jharkhand, MBA in operations management, and doctorate in business administration from Swiss School of Business and Management from Geneva, Switzerland. He holds more than 26 years of rich industrial experience with leading brands like Tata Motors, General Motors India, Aircel, Bharati Infratel in supply chain and operations management. He also has more than 15 years of experience in the field of education, training, coaching, and mentorships. In his varied roles across industries and academic institutions, he is engaged in providing analytical insights across range of activities in incubation process, business development services for business operations of SMEs, with the purpose to accelerate transition to sustainable supply chain. During his professional career, he has designed, prepared, and executed comprehensive plans and strategies for setting up of incubation centers across various locations in India. In between, he has delivered interactive sessions during entrepreneur awareness camps on intellectual properties application process, cybersecurity, artificial intelligence, and machine learning, food agriculture, and food processing, ICT and IoT, green technology, clean energy, renewable energy, and non-renewable energy sources. He is certified mentor from Singapore Polytechnic, Singapore. As on date, around 600 SMEs and 60 startups are coached and mentored. Higher education institutions are also benefited with his valuable knowledge in ranking frameworks, vocational courses design and development, creation of innovations ecosystem, and entrepreneurial mindset. His active participation as a coach and mentor in transforming education and supporting innovation ecosystem, which is ongoing with Ghana, Kenya, Bangladesh, Nigeria, Uganda, Ireland and Scotland. Various industry-related action researches happened under his guidance as the professor of practice with higher education institutes on sector domains like telecommunications, oil and gas, engineering works, benefiting researchers to have their research work acknowledged by industries. His involvement as a research guide has assisted scholars in creating industry insight research by enhancing, developing and innovating core expertise in sustainable development of the subject domain. On climate change advocacy, his extensive work are going on as a project manager and facilitator with Global Sustainable Future Network UK, Global Sustainable Forum for Rural Development, India, Small Village Lab, University of Melbourne, Australia, University of Central Lancashire, Smart Business Innovation Chad, KUNA Academy, Ireland, ACT Training Centre, Lagos, Nigeria, YINNOH, Uganda, SPSC and many more. He is also the Global Ambassador of Sustainability. In 2015, he authored the book titled Limits to Infinity on Philosophy and Science Relating to the Thought Processes, which was well acclaimed by Honorable Prime Minister of India's office and the Holy Dalai Lama's office. Apart from that, he has authored several case papers on industry's subject domains, which were published in leading journals, magazines of repute in India and abroad. His core competencies are in leadership, Mr. Atul Borhade was born in Rajgurunagar, the native place of great freedom fighter Hutatma Rajguru, in Pune district of Maharashtra state. In the year 2007, he completed his Masters in Organic Chemistry in Pune and started his career in the corporate world. During his tenure in corporate world, he traveled across the globe, especially in USA and Europe, to participate in conferences and represented his company, where he received international corporate culture and new insights towards business and corporate leadership. After working more than a decade, he realized his potential to contribute through agribusiness. Therefore, he turned as an entrepreneur. Being from farmer's family background, his aim was to make farmer realize the actual potential in farming and stimulating the growth of agriculture sector. So, he started his venture, Adibu Global Export Private Limited, where he focused on export of agricultural and processed food, medicinal herbal plant products. Through this business, he is helping to enhance income of farmers and growth in agricultural sector. He also wants to extend his service to mainly school kids by telling them stories. Freedom is not a gift, but the responsibility to accept and maintain it, to hand over to the next generation. Friends, FIIP is here to lead collaboratively in the days to come on a larger scale. It is time to announce the new vertical, Navurja is nothing but an exploration of energy. I request Mr. Atul Borhade sir, the director of FIIP, who is a leading entrepreneur, running Adibu Global Export Private Limited Company, which is mainly focused on export of agricultural and processed food, frozen food, medicinal and herbal plant products. Atul sir, now over to you to share in brief about.
हेलो एंड ग्रेट इवनिंग टू एवरीवन। आप सभी को मेरी तरफ से और FIIP की तरफ से स्वतंत्रता दिन की हार्दिक हार्दिक शुभकामनाएं। माय डियर फ्रेंड्स, FIIP has observed the gap in the areas of life like social life, personal life, health perspective, environment, and lacunas of human values, which needed to be addressed independently by various awakening programs, and with the practical applications to eradicate the unwanted elements affecting, as I mentioned. So these are the problems which FIIP has observed, as I mentioned, these many kinds of problems. And for these such kind of problems, FIIP has a pool of talent and versatile experts from each domain to do justice to these issues and lead society towards the quality, health, and harmony. And for the same reason, with the thoughts we have extended as a harbinger through Navurja, where FIIP is going to address the issues through series of programs providing a practical, workable solutions for mankind in the country and in the globe. So this is a Navurja vertical, and this vertical is mainly focused on life and social, health, and environment. So there are several topics under each of these life and social, health, and environment, and their topics are like, for life and social, like child education and parenting, childhood obesity, gender inequality, civil rights, racial discrimination, and many more such issues. For health, like monsoon health, diabetes as a bitter truth, Ayurveda and lifestyle, arthritis and pain management. And for environment, like green energy, rainwater harvesting, energy conservation, and bio-waste management. So for each and every of this topic, and for such many more topics, we are going to have every fortnight a session on this a session or a special design program on this topic. And I personally urge everyone to please attend this program and be a catalyst at your respective region to bring desired results. So I take a privilege as a director to be a part of Novorcha as a catalyst and support the vision and mission of FIIP. Thank you, everyone. Jai Hind.
Thank you, sir. I am sure this huge engagement program throughout the year will enhance lives, reduce social problems, and address environmental issues. Now, it is time to announce another vertical, and that is Industry Insights. I request C.B. Katrabad sir, the Director of FIIP, who is a leading entrepreneur, running Prosolutionist Services Private Limited Company, which is mainly focused on customer service and people development in two-wheeler and three-wheeler service function. He is a master in technical writing and development of training films. He has an experience more than 3 decades in automobile sector. CBK sir, now over to you to share in brief about.
Thank you, Priyanka. Honorable guests, chief guests, respected speakers, and founder, directors, and direct members of FIIP, and my dear friends. On this occasion of Azadi ka Amrut Mahotsav and a special national day, that is Independence Day, I would like to wish you a happy Independence Day. I am privileged to be a part of FIIP, a platform which is helping to numerous businessmen, entrepreneurs, and professionals. We all know that business is an organizing or an enterprising entity engaged in commercial, industrial, or professional activities, and business is to earn profit, of course. But meantime, business comprises various systems, processes, and various functions to perform, like marketing, sales, service, finance, R&D, engineering, operations, logistics, personnel. There are so many functions to run the business. We need adequate knowledge and various skills to practice and execute these systems and handle these functions to run the business effectively and efficiently and achieve desired results. So this is where Industry Insights plays an important role in providing inputs on various topics for all kinds of businesses, business categories, and professionals. So I take an honor to present you this crucial vertical named Industry Insights. So here you go. Industry Insights will have series of programs organized every fortnight. So, and it will cover topics in different categories like financial management, accounting, marketing, sales and service, managerial skills, project management and planning, quality system and management, of course, for new venture operators, or if somebody wants to get into business, okay, business establishing processes, of course, very important government policies, systems and support, and many more categories we will have on board. So these are the main categories, okay, we'll have very many subtopics, so which comprise all kind of information and contents. So for example, under financial management and accounting, financial planning, management accounting, auditing, taxation, and other many courses will be conducted, organized. For example, in managerial skills, of course, leadership skills, business skills, team building and motivation, delegating skills, analytical skills. And another example, government policies and support systems. We'll have government schemes and policies, roles of banking in economy, role of support of MSME for these entrepreneurs, labor laws, and many more. So there are so many topics, okay, will be conducted, organized to make all the businessmen, entrepreneurs, and professionals to enhance their skills and knowledge. So while other arms of FIIP like business networking and business spot bring businessmen, entrepreneurs, and professionals together, industry insights vertical will help them in grooming, developing, enhancing their business knowledge and skills, which in turn will lead to business growth. So look for your forthcoming industry insight programs scheduled fortnightly. Do connect to us for learning and gaining and succeed in your business, entrepreneurship, or profession. Thank you very much.
Thank you, sir. We assure you that entrepreneurs and businessmen will get practical in
सर आवाज बंद झालाय.
Oh, 1 minute.
insights from experts of various domains to develop sustainable business models and help them contribute to Atmanirbhar Bharat to a greater extent. Now friends, it's time to announce the much wanted and much needed vertical. I request Mrs. Urmila Devkarji, co-founder FIIP, to let her announce the title of the vertical herself and give a brief about it as well.
Thank you, Priyanka. Good evening, everyone. On the occasion of 76th Independence Day celebration, it is proud moment to every citizen of the country to celebrate our Independence Day as Azadi ka Amrut Mahotsav. I wish you all a very happy 76th Independence Day. I am proud to share the digital platform with you all, elite and passionate audience, along with today's chief guest, Mr. Gopinath Raoji, and leading speakers of today's Dr. Samir Bharwaji and Madam Suchitra Acharyaji. The host team, FIIP Founder Director, Honorable Nonaji Devkar, and our FIIP Director, Dr. Popatrao Mohiteji, Mr. CB Katrabatji, and Mr. Atul Boradeji. I, on behalf of FIIP, welcome to everyone to cherish this event. I wish to inaugurate women platform to know as Womanpreneur with the motto to make women independent. Atmanirbhar Bharat ki Nari. Every woman wants to contribute to this nation. There are various platforms for women in the country at global level and national level also. But the real gap of women to contribute this nation, there are various platforms, But the real gap of women empowering need to address. Therefore, FIIP has taken a lead to empower women, not only the business one, but housewife too. Today, I am very proud of this moment as the Federation of Indian Industries and Professionals, that is FIIP, providing a platform to empower women. FIIP looks ahead to connect women of the country as well as global to bring on this platform to bring desired changes. If women do with her own perspective, then she will be strong and self-reliant. So each woman can join this platform, this forum, to lead progress of present, deprived and needed women who wants to do business and aspirement of business. Why all women should connect this platform? This forum will connect you with such women, power and women. Those are already successfully running their businesses, and they will help you others as a mentor in your businesses. Through this platform, we have planned to run startup mentoring, EDP programs, and skill development programs exclusive for the women. This forum will strengthen your business network to grow. You will find business friends to help your businesses day-to-day challenges. In the beginning of this forum, for women will be made available with no cost. हम महिलाएं अपनी ताकत, मेहनत और एकता से जो चाहिए हासिल कर सकती है। इसी उद्देश्य को लेकर मैं कुछ पंक्तियां बोलना चाहूंगी। ना कभी रुकेंगे, ना कभी झुकेंगे, ना कभी रुकेंगे, ना कभी झुकेंगे, ना कभी हाथ छोड़ेंगे, ना कभी साथ छोड़ेंगे। अगर छोड़ेंगे तो सबको आत्मनिर्भर बना के छोड़ेंगे। इसी के साथ मैं अनाउंस करती हूँ, FIIP अपने वुमेन प्रेन्योर आत्मनिर्भर भारत की नारी इस मंच के जरिए वुमेन्स को सशक्त बनाने का काम आज से शुरू करेगी। थैंक यू वेरी मच।
Yes, it is indeed an important vertical under the umbrella of FIIP. Through various women's empowerment programs, Atmanirbhar Nari will initiate the desired changes. It will be a game-changing platform in the country for women entrepreneurs. Now, the much-awaited and value-added program, to give our brains the food for thought, I request Dr. Amrut Mahotsav, sir, Director of FIIP, to lead further program. Dr. Amrut Mahotsav is founder of CMMA Creative Minds Mohite Associates and Dr. Mohit's Business Leaf Mentoring. He is also a trustee member of Tiranga Foundation and director of Potter's Wood Preschool, Hyderabad. He is a certified behavioral scientist, business mentor, corporate master trainer, parenting coach, and life coach. He has having 4 decades experience in business mentoring.
Thank you, Priyanka. It is a great opportunity to everyone to be here to a very important program, as everyone is awaited here, that what we are going to have today, the much more good brain thought process is going to take today. We have a very versatile personality today with us, Dr. Samir Baruwa, who is going to deliver the first lecture of the day, and he is going to know much more about us in that line as he connected with us, and I'm very happy to connect with Dr. Samir Baruwa. Sir, we welcome on behalf of FIIP, sir. About him, just I'm briefing. He is a senior mentor, thinker, writer, motivator, banker, and a micro-sector analyst. Yes, he's a very genuine personality. He is a former corporate where he carried responsibility as a general manager, Indian Overseas Bank, Chennai, contributed to Indian Overseas Bank Staff College in capacity of the principal at Chennai. He led Indian Overseas Bank with the various leading positions in the country and outside the country. State of Bihar, Jharkhand, Uttar Pradesh, Bengal, including Andaman and Nicobar, and Northeast India, Rajasthan, Madhya Pradesh, and Chhattisgarh with overseas exposure friends. He further contributed Assam Power, Generation basically Corporation Limited as a director. He always keen to give back society. He is a very social environment personality, and he is a very notable in the society. He shared a few more responsibility as a president and vice president of the Rotary Club of Guwahati. At present, in Assam, there is a leading mentoring platform, namely Kamarup. He guided through various capacity to mentors charter. He is also accredited by City and Guild London for mentoring through the leading NGO BYST, that is Bharatiya Shakti, Yuva Shakti Trust, supported by CIA. He is loved towards village development. He's reflecting whenever he's leading as a mission director of Untied Imperative Mission Assam and senior advisor of India. Chairperson, Banking and MSME, India, Chamber of Commerce with Northeast India, advisor Laghu Udyog Bharati, basically Bharatiya Northeast Industry Association. He is having the role of banking and upgrading micro sector under SMEs in the country. So today he's going to highlight on that, and that's what we are going to learn many more things from him. In Indian, majority of the micro sector units are in the unorganized sector. In Assam, the contribution of micro under MSME sector is more than 98%, and surprisingly, it is 90% are in the unorganized sector. So friend, they are unable to raise finance from the banks, and they continue to remain the subsistence level and are not able to scale up to the commercial. So how to bring the micro level basically sector into the organized sector, which is one of the biggest challenge before the country. And so he is here going to address in that line. About him, let me put more things that he is a member advisor of Multi-Skilling Sustainability Center, Assam Engineering College, Guwahati. In education sector, in a member of Board of Studies and Management, Downtown University, Guwahati, and member of CAP and all together. why we are talking about him? He is the man from, everywhere, the corner of the Assam. He is contributing to central government as well as the state government of Assam. So I'm sure that he's mentoring towards the Margadarshaka, advisor of Assam. He's working in that line. He's having the, advisor of Startup Assam and Brain, Brahmaputra Region Angel Investment Network, resources person of banking and enterprises management. In a various management institute, he reported and contributed a lot in engineering colleges too, including IIT general colleges. So friend, we have here the very great personality who is going to address us today on especially the area, rightly just like Pokoni in that line. So he's associated with the various agriculture and allied agriculture projects in Assam. And he is an author and team leader of rural development project at IOB, Sampurna, implemented by Indian Overseas Bank in Tamil Nadu. Sir, it is a great proud, and we welcome you, sir, for this wonderful session through us. We sure today we were going to have the great feast from you, sir. Over to you, Dr. Samir, sir. Unmute yourself, sir. Unmute, sir, unmute. Yes, sir, please.
Yeah, thank you, Dr. Mohite. I think you have put me on the defensive. Seeing so many things about me. I am essentially a student. I am in the process of unlearning and relearning. And I have the good fortune of being in the banking industry for long 40 years. And as you had mentioned, that I had the privilege of working almost throughout the country with exposure abroad. And after my retirement, MDI Gurgaon wanted me to come and be with them. I said that, no, you have a lot of resource people in Delhi. Let me go to Assam and do a little bit of hand-holding as far as our youngsters are concerned. At the outset, I would like to thank the Federation of Indian Industry and professionals for having invited me to speak on the role of banking in upgrading MSME. On this auspicious day when the nation is celebrating Azadi ka Amrut Mahotsav, and the Federation has organized this event titled Empowerment Entrepreneur, Atmanirbhar Bharat, as a part of the National Day celebration. I take this opportunity to greet each one of you on this historic 76th Independence Day and pay tributes to the martyrs who laid down their lives for giving us this independence. I will start with a disclaimer. The views to be expressed by me are my own as a resource person on banking and enterprise, and has nothing to do with my assignment as mission director under Amrut Mission Assam. We all know banking industry has grown manifold. A lot of changes have taken place. Banks are gradually becoming technology companies providing banking services. I still recollect when I joined the banking industry in 1973, the induction mantra was turn the page and learn the work. That was the mantra at the time, that you turn the page and learn the work, because everything was done physical at the time. There was no computers. Today, the banks are foraying into the sunrise sector and hitherto unknown terrain. They are required to upgrade standards and become competitive in order to compete at international level. I've been very fortunate to get an opportunity to serve the banking industry for long 40 years. According to me, there is no service like the banking service. A bank manager in course of a day can become a farmer, an industrialist, an entrepreneur, a trader, a teacher, a student, and whatnot. Depending upon the type of customer he is dealing, the judicious exercise of the financial discretionary powers by a bank manager, I very often say that they can make a cobbler into Bata and an auto operator into Tata. That is the amount of capacity which a bank manager has. The subject before me on the role of banking in upgrading MSME is a vast subject. Banks not only lend but also help in regulating the business and instill financial discipline. In this part of the country, most of our people, they have a feeling that they should go to, for example, somebody is in business at the micro level, they have an impression that if they are doing business with their own money, they need not go to a bank. They say, I'm doing business with my own money, why should I go to a bank? Say after 3 years or 4 years of conducting their business, then suddenly they realize they need finance, they need funds for upscaling. At that time, they will look for their chacha or mama who is in which bank. Then even despite being in business for 4-5 years, they have to look for someone to go and get introduced to a bank and getting financial assistance. This is, I think, the crux of the matter. We will discuss. See, today, banks not only lend but also help in regulating the business and instill financial discipline. It helps in exports and imports. The banks also provide a lot of information to the units, especially on statutory regulatory matters. Reserve Bank of India has come out on 29th of July 2022, very recent, with their master direction to all the banks. Their updated policy on lending to the MSME sector, which can be perused by all of you, as available in the RBI website. That's a very detailed circular that gives very clear sort of direction to the banking industry. This in itself highlights the role, responsibility entrusted upon the entire banking industry to support the MSME sector. We all know, I'm not going very deep into here. I am talking in very simple terms. I would not like to go into very high management funda and talk to you because most of the things are known to you. The fact remains that the micro, small and medium enterprises today we are accepting and acknowledging that they are providing the maximum employment. Because most of the corporate houses, they have gone very tax savvy today. And there is a subject of jobless growth that is going on. While technology is important, there is no doubt, but in a labor intensive country like ours, technology cannot displace the human resources. Technology can be an enabler. The Reserve Bank of India has extensively covered the role responsibility of the banks to proactively come forward and extend need-based financial assistance to the MSME sector enterprises. The RBI has also rightly touched upon the responsibility for undertaking financial literacy drives by the bank in various forums. Because I am associated with the startup ecosystem, I am associated with the entrepreneurial ecosystem. I am keeping myself abreast of all the issues and challenges that the enterprises are facing and also the issues and challenges before the banking industry. Incidentally, you'll be glad to know after my retirement, when I came back to Assam, the Assam government invited me as a special invitee for one of the SLBC meeting. SLBC is the state level bankers committee meeting. That's the highest level committee where even the chief minister or the chief secretary, they come and preside over such meetings. I was invited as a special invitee. What was the subject? They said that the credit deposit ratio of banks in the state of Assam is very low. The vice chairman of SITA, that is the State Innovation and Transformation Ayog, called me and he said that we want to invite you as a special invitee to present the case of state government, because the bankers are explaining a lot of things to the IS officers and perhaps they are not able to understand, or the bankers are not very honest in their giving the reasons for the low trade deposit ratio. I was very shocked. That was, I'm telling you, that is in 2013 or 2014. Why I was shocked, I still recollect in 1980, I was manager of Indian Overseas Bank in Shillong. At that time, I was very young because by default, I was posted as a manager there because normally they put a lot of senior persons there. I had immediately on my completion of my probation, I was there for about a year. At that time, there was a riot in Shillong and the earlier manager had to flee. And I was by default put as a manager there. And I had to face my first SLBC meeting there in Meghalaya, where the chief secretary virtually fired me, stating that why your credit deposit ratio is so low. Of course, that credit deposit ratio was not low for Indian Overseas Bank alone, but it was low for all the banks. That's why after 40 years, when I come back and the State Innovation Vice Chairman tells me that this is an issue that really was a cause of concern. So I decided, let me go into an investigative PhD study. And I thought it's very easy to get enrollment in the PhD. So I went and I checked up. I found an advertisement in the newspaper of an university and I applied. And I went and met the vice chancellor. The vice chancellor said, no, it is not that easy. You'll have to sit, you'll have to write a common admission test. I said, writing a common admission test, I said, I'm not looking for a job. In public interest only, I want to carry out this research. Then why is it that you're asking me for? Is it that UGC norms is there? You'll have to go through the process. Then about 1,000 on the appointed day, about 1,000 young lecturers were there in the college, and I was the only elderly person there. I went and saw my seat and then looked. I was waiting in the veranda, and all these youngsters, they were saluting me, thinking I'm the invigilator for the year. Anyway, to cut the story short, I appeared in I wrote the exam, and later on I came to know that I got, I cleared it. Then they said that you'll have to place your subject before an expert committee, and the expert committee only finally will take a call on that. So that process was also over. And finally, out of 1,000, about 9 of them got selected for carrying out research in various subjects, and I was one of them. Then I spoke to Mrs. Thorat. Mr. Thorat was the chairman of NABARD earlier, and Mrs. Thorat was in Reserve Bank of India as a deputy governor. I think many of you may be knowing her. Extremely nice gentleman. They had done a lot of extensive work in Northeast. She had done extremely well on financial inclusion. I gave a call to Madam Thorat and I said that I am wanting to carry out this research. She then said that it's better you carry out the research on primary data instead of depending on secondary data. Otherwise, it will be very boring. You take on primary data. I was very fortunate, and that is how Mr. Mohite will be knowing. So I became associated with the Bharat Diva Shakti Trust, and I got the opportunity of traveling. So I had traveled extensively to various districts of Assam, and I had collected samples for my research work, mostly on primary data. So that's why today I'm in a better position in understanding what are the issues and challenges before the enterprises, and also what are the issues and challenges before the banking industry. So my job was to build a bridge between the banking industry and I focused myself more on the MSME sector, and also my focus was more on the micro sector, because in Northeast, I think in other parts of the country also, I think you'll all agree. If you look at critically into the micro MSME sector, you'll find that the distribution of the micro sector in Assam, a study was carried out by the Indian Institute of Entrepreneurship, a study was carried out by the Indian Institute of Bank Management, and they had found that it is almost 99%. The distribution of the micro component under the MSME in Northeast is almost 99%. Out of that, you'll be very shocked to know, out of that 90% are still remaining in the unorganized or informal sector. Now, because they are remaining in the unorganized or informal sector, they are not able to raise finance from the organized banking industry. You can as well imagine what is the condition of this. Most of these units, while I was collecting my primary data in the villages, because we have a lot of cottage industries, we have a lot of khadi village industries, we have a lot of small enterprises, we have our artisans, we have our weavers, we have the craftsmen, all these are there. There are millions and millions of such type of people in the country who are virtually remaining at the level of subsistence, and they are not able to scale up their operation till now. I think time has come for all of us, including FIIP, to make a critical study on this. I would recommend that some of the research scholars may go into this aspect and find out that how is it possible to bring these micro sectors into the formal sector, so that they will be able to go into, they will be able to come out of the subsistence level to the commercial level, and they are able to, if we are able to organize and formalize them, then in that case we can aggregate their services, their products, and then we can really make local global into a very successful venture. It will be very possible for us. So whatever small reading I had, I found that the regulations and compliances, these are the main things today. We are in a digitized world today. We are in a data-driven economy today. And we all know that what is more important for us is the regulations and the compliances. I had the privilege of representing the Indian Chamber of Commerce in a recent meet where the finance finance committee of the parliament, the Parliamentary Committee on Finance, had come to Guwahati. I had the occasion of having an interface with them along with the other industry association people. In that I had made a humble submission. I made a humble submission that maybe we can think in terms of bringing about a separate legislation for the micro sector. Now, because the micro is there along with small and medium, and we know the regulations are quite stiff, and because the regulations are stiff, the micro sector people, the entrepreneurs, they are not able to comply with such regulations, and consequent to that, what is happening? They are remaining in a state of resigning to fate. वो लोग हाथ उठा दिया है, बोला हमसे होगा नहीं, हम ऐसे ही रहेंगे, मेरा बेटा का पढ़ाई खत्म हो गया, बेटी का शादी हो गया, खत्म. मतलब level of contentment and level of J is only up to that extent. Now, isn't this our collective responsibility for all of us in order to look into this aspect and try and come out with some thought process, look into this very subject and how to bring the micro sector into the formal sector. The banking industry has been vested with huge responsibility in this regard also. As you all know, that today, when I had looked into this subject, what I found was this, that most of these micro sectors, most of these micro enterprises or entrepreneurs or the small time people, they do not have any financial record. They do not maintain business record. Now you see an auto wala, even in Pune, you may check up with any of the auto people, auto wala. You can ask whether they have given a name to their business. I have not found a single auto wala who has given a name to his business, because the auto can be operated on the way, on the road when they get a motor vehicle clearance under the MVI Act. The RTO will give the registration, etc., and the commercial license will be there. Then immediately they can go and start ply the vehicle on the road. And there is, in Guwahati Municipal Corporation, I checked up, they do not have any policy decision, they have not taken that the auto wala need to have a trade license. Now here is the gap. Now, because the trade license is not there, when he goes to a bank, supposing he goes to a bank to open a current account, the bank will ask for a trade license. Even though it is not compulsory, it is necessary for us to educate such type of enterprises, entrepreneurs, that you have to establish a banking relationship, and that should be through a current account. You will be shocked to know that I don't think any of these auto operators are maintaining any current account. And I had checked up with banks also, with State Bank of India. One day I found that when you are financing a vehicle, why you are asking them to finance, why you are asking them to open a savings account, you are asking the margin to be deposited into the savings account, your loan component also you are depositing in the loan, in the savings account, and from the savings account you are making payment to the dealer for delivery of the vehicle. That means from day one, we are getting disconnected with the borrower because we have not insisted on him to open a current account, and we have not insisted on him to route all his daily income and expenses through that account. It is our failure. We have failed to educate them. And that is why what is happening 30 years, 20 years, they are flying the auto, they are still remaining at that level. Now time has come. That's why Reserve Bank of India has insisted upon that we should go in for mission drive on financial literacy. But unfortunately, what is happening, most of the banks, even including Reserve Bank of India, with all good intentions, they are so hard pressed with men and manpower and infrastructure that it may not be possible on their part to regular basis to carry out this financial literacy mission. They may conduct some meetings, some events may be there, and then try to create some awareness, but then it needs to be on a continuous basis. So when I talk on problems, I come with solutions. Many of you may have gone through the new education policy. If you have gone through the new education policy, you'll find there is a lot of flexibility given under the new education policy. At the same time, a lot of responsibility has been given to the institutions and the universities that they have to go beyond campus. Like the corporates have been given responsibility under the corporate social responsibility. In their case also, they have been given a lot of responsibility in order to see that they go beyond the campus. They can go beyond the campus through the transfer of technology. They can lab-to-learn programs. With all these things, they are supposed to do that. And the universities, the professors are tied up with the semester system. They say we are not getting adequate time in order to take all these things forward. That is why now time has come for industry associations, the academics, the banking sector, other stakeholders, all of us. Instead of remaining in competition or working on silos, time has come for us to leverage the core competencies of individuals and organizations in a win-win situation for all, so that we are able to take it forward. Now, as far as the banks and the MSME sector is concerned, I have been emphasizing more on the micro. Why? Because if the micro can be taken care of, from the micro, what will happen? From the micro to the small, they can go, and from small, by the time they are in the small, because now with the enhancement in the investment limits, the small sector is also marginal, it's quite big. And from there to the medium, they can go, because by the time they have already established the banking transactional relationship with banks, and banks will take care of them. It is the starting, the budding entrepreneurs, the micro sector. These are the areas where more focus is required. And that is why we are urging upon the banking industry to come forward with a more proactive sort of attitude, not being reactive. Now, unfortunately, what has happened, I will talk on three things. One is the policy. Second is on the people. Third, on the process. The policy, there are two policies I am talking about. One is the lending policy, the loan policy. Every bank has got a loan policy. Every bank has got a recovery policy. Now, because the banks were subjected to a lot of non-performing assets, in the process, what had happened, many of the bank managers were subjected to accountability issues, which created a lot of problem in the sense that there was a lot of credit aversion and risk aversion taking place in the banking industry. Now, Government of India had to come forward recently, in the last, maybe I think in the month of March or so, they had come forward, and then they said that we will look into the subject of accountability. And there has been some modifications made in that concept in order to make the bank managers understand that if supposing they do not lend, that we are today in a situation where we are saying that transforming job seekers into job creators is the mantra. We all know since independence till 1990s, we were under the protective regime. And during that process, the government and the public sector was given more responsibility. And today we are having what? Today we are having, since 1991, the private sector has come to play a larger role. And we are saying that we need job seekers to be made into job creators. If we want the job creators, then in that case, obviously the banking industry will have to come forward. They cannot take the plea that just because we were having some, I think somebody is standing before my camera is disturbing me.
Now you can go ahead, sir, please. I stopped his video. Sir, please. Yeah.
See, the thing is like this, that when we are insisting, when we are talking, the government of India is telling that we need to transform job seekers into job creators. If that be the fact, then where will they go? If they do not have much of capital, then obviously they'll have to go to the banks in order to get the finance. Now, what is happening? The banks, you know, we have gone into automated credit decisions. These automated credit decisions with the scoring and all these things that was taking place was creating a lot of problems for the people, including the civil and all. Because nobody perhaps have gone into the parameters of the scorings to find out whether civil, which was originally intended for credit cards, has become the scoring here for small and medium enterprises. Now, in Indian context, we are a saving economy. We are not a spending economy. In Indian context, supposing somebody has not taken any loan at all, then the credit rating comes to -1. And they are saying that no, still then we will give and things like that. But why so? In American context, yes, we do agree. They are in a spending economy, and for them the credit card is a very important sort of tool. In our country, we still have such type of notion that we should not take loans. The loan is not good and things like that. Still, there are millions and millions of such type of people who think that we should not take loans and things like that. That is still there. So we need separate parameters. We need separate scoring models for our loans. Otherwise, what will happen? A small person going to take a loan, etc. Supposing their CIBIL score is low, then the bank manager outrightly rejects his application. Second part of it is that there is need for customization of loan products in accordance with the requirement of that area. Normally, the banks have their credit loan, their schemes, etc., which are centralized. And pan-India, it is given throughout the country. And if supposing that is followed by a checklist, and a big checklist is there, if the checklist, some of the fields cannot be completed, then the loan application gets rejected. So time has come for us to do a lot of, the industry association has to look into for finding out what sort of bottoms-up approach can be there, whether we can look into that, because banking is theory and practice, we all know. The practices that are there in local areas, which are otherwise legal practices and bankable practices, but they do not figure in the list of schemes that the banks have, then who will take up this subject? Because it is normally top down, everything is there from the top and it comes down, and top down, because it is top down, and if supposing some of the fields are not filled up, immediately outright rejections are there. Other part of it is the accountability subject, which I said in the loan policy, recovery policy, that they will have to see the accountability policy, the banks will have to review, and in accordance with what the government guidelines have come, they'll have to review. Because in course of my research work, I interviewed about 100 bank managers. In my interview, I asked them simple 3 questions. First question is, are you afraid of giving loans? Everybody said yes. Almost everybody said yes. I asked why. They said because of accountability. Then I asked that whether you have gone through the accountability policy of your bank. None of them had gone through. This is just in banks. What happens? Supposing one officer or one manager is taken, some action is taken, immediately that spreads like wildfire. And in the process, what happens? The others become skeptical. Then the credit aversion and risk aversion sets in. This is required to be addressed in today's context. More so, I repeat, because we are today in an age where we are saying transforming job seekers into job creators is the mantra.
So nice, Samirji. I would like to request another 5 minutes, please.
Okay.
Yeah, thank you.
In short, what we are saying that we need to relook at things. We need to relook at things and see that what sort of solutions can be there. As far as the people are concerned, under the people, I always say ask ABC. attitude, skill, and knowledge is required because we are foraying into new areas and new sunrise sectors. The banking industry will definitely have to look into this and to see to it that how is it possible for them to address such type of issue of upgrading the knowledge and the skill part of the bank managers to take credit decisions. My solution here is this: there is need for the technical institutes like IITs and others, engineering colleges and agriculture universities, etc. They must come out with some capsule program in order to provide this capsule program to the bank branch managers, so that the branch managers are able to identify the risk involved in financing such type of projects. There are many such type of cases because the bank manager is ignorant about the particular project. He will try to buy time. You come tomorrow, day after tomorrow, like this. Entrepreneur gets disgusted, and later on they say that bank se hoga nahi. So this is the part of it where attitude, skill, and knowledge, awareness is required. We need some sense of belongingness and commitment, because at the end of the day, we all know the policies are some of the best brains goes into formulation of the policies. The policies per se cannot be bad. It is the practices that is there. There's a gap between policy and practice. We need to address the practices, and the banks are there with all their processes and procedures. The process and procedures also requires to be looked into so that it can be simplified. So that the entrepreneurs are finding it more easier to deal with the banking industry. We can go on talking on this subject for long, no year on this, but fundamentally what I'm saying that the bank has a heavy responsibility as far as lending to the MSME sector is concerned. I would request all of you to kindly go through the 29 July 2022 Reserve Bank of India's master direction on the role responsibility of banks on the MSME sector. Number two, I would also request on August 10th, Reserve Bank of India had come out with their notification on this automated the digital lending. On digital lending, they have come out with their notification. That also you kindly go through, because it will be of great assistance to the MSME sector, because the Reserve Bank has now addressed and have given very clear sort of directions to the banks and also to the service providers, Thank you very much. And I think I have not exceeded the time.
No, wonderful. You are done in the time, sir. It's a great to be with that way. You are done wonderful, sir.
I could have covered one or two experiences. Of course, that will not be there now, because that village network economy, which we developed in Tamil Nadu, it was a great, this were 20 villages, where how we connected 20 villages.
Thank
and
you.
Made a roaring success of that. And carried out the impact study also.
Fantastic, sir. I'm very happy. My request to all participants, if they have questions, they can put in the chat box, because at the end we are going to conduct our question and answer basically session. So Barabaji, I'm sure that you are going to be with us, and there are two other.
I know within this short time whether I am able to cover the subject properly or not. I am not able.
Yeah, absolutely. In a brief, I will say, sir, the way you have rightly pointed out the failures and lacunas of our own system. Sir, you have found absolutely perfect area that what are the problems of the micro labor. As you have given a good example of the rickshawala. It is one of the small example, but bhajiwala is there, milkwala, everyone is there, sir, which is needed to be think in the right direction, sir. And you have highlighted appropriately to be more stronger from the banking sector, especially in the policy making sector, sir. Especially they have to go with the proper approach and attitude with the loan system. They have to develop and they have to make the sense of that altogether, sir. And second, and very, very important, the way you are given the call, capsule program for banking. Absolutely, sir. And we FIIP, promise you, sir. We FIIP have that objective and the mission and vision, sir, to connect every Indian to us with that particular program that every citizen should be worthy in days to come. Sir, with this, you have basically, simplified the thoughts and made that altogether in days to come that how we can go digitally more and more strong. Thank you very much, sir. I'm looking forward many more connect and you will remain there. Now, the time comes with our second eminent personality, and she is nothing but, the way she has worked all together. And Suchita ma'am, she is a wonderful lady. I'm very proud to tell her about that way, in that understanding that she made herself down to the personality, since her culture basically speaks about social empowering woman. She is a caring woman for women. The first woman I saw who basically helped from all dimensions. About her, I'm very happy to tell you, Madam Sucheta Acharya is a basically engineering graduate. She's from a computer science background and having the PG diploma in finance. Yeah, definitely. She is going to also touch the various points as rightly Barua has pointed out. She basically took interest in investment banking, and Sucheta believes in building a strong and result-oriented business strategy because she is doing wonderful work internationally also. And very I'm proud to tell about her that she's a first generation entrepreneur. You know, अगर हम पहले अगर कोई घर से औरत हमारी बाहर निकलती है व्यवसाय करने के लिए, बिजनेस करने के लिए, तो क्या दिक्कतें होती है, तो वो दिक्कतों का सामना उन्होंने किया है. And I know that she believes in thoroughpreneur and she always believes in innovation and business to perform through that concept base. Ma'am, I'm proud that you are a true sense, a true entrepreneur yourself, and you believe, I know that, power of woman. Yes, and today we have inaugurated our very wonderful womanpreneur, another vertical, and ma'am, we look forward you to be more and more thought process with us in that line. I know that you motivates and mentors many women in that particular Hyderabad sector and in our own country who are going to have that way with through various platforms of you. Her brainchild is a baby prince, made its mark in a very short time in customer space established in 2017 and engaged around 200 women directly and indirectly. Frank, this is a great notable thought from her. And in a relatively short span of 5 years, she is proud to present herself as a successful woman entrepreneur, supporting many single mothers and reaching unexpected avenues within a short span. She is a MD of Sakunya Enterprise and CEO VM Mart Private Limited. Very recently, she addressed the international forum on the topic women empowering through her factual case studies. It is proud to mention here that among few of women speakers, she is a genuine one to lead the voice of women on the international front. And I attended that program. Very happy to tell you that having participated in the various international exhibitions, it becomes a passion to spread into the international market. After successful seeing in the international market, she is establishing into her domestic market. I'm sure, ma'am, you are going to highlight today us, and we are waiting all together here. Your role of that way, woman entrepreneur, basically powering in such a way that how we are going to make. Over to you, ma'am. Thank you much.
Dr. Mohite, thank you so much actually for such a wonderful introduction. I'm really overwhelmed. Mananiya Shriman Gopinath Rao Garu, Shriman Dr. Samir Baruaji, Shriman Navnath Devkarji, Srimati Urmila Devkarji, and Dr. Popat Rao Mohite ji, and ladies and gentlemen. First of all, I must congratulate Mr. Navnath Devkarji and Dr. Popat Rao Mohite ji and the entire team of FIIP for their tremendous efforts to put this event together. Now, Dr. Barua had actually talked a lot about MSME and the banking sector, but let me talk about the women entrepreneurs in this entire scenario. The women entrepreneurs, lot has been talked and done on this subject. I'm not going to repeat the same here. Dear friends, let's look at how this term woman entrepreneur has come into existence from nowhere and brought a nationwide storm. When new government took over in 2014, there was a hope in rural and marginalized society. As Prime Minister Shri Narendra Modi carefully chose his team in the cabinet, the team members equally seemed determined. Government's ability to take the strong and out-of-the-box decisions and ensuring the implementation of these decisions and policies really helped the people who were hoping for something good. One of the marginalized societies during that time awaiting that change was women. Women were always looking for some additional income for the family, but because of lack of skill or family responsibilities, this really seemed a dream for them in pre-2014 era. The PM was confident that skilled and financially independent women can build a strong foundation for the development of the country. And he reiterated it today while mentioning the Panchapran of Bharat during his speech. Based on his belief, ministries like Women and Child Development, the Commerce Ministry, the Finance Ministry, and the Ministry of MSME started working towards a single goal. This, in tandem with the strong reforms in banking sector and education sector, brought a change. This also gave a birth to government e-marketplace, GEM, wherein it was made compulsory for all the registered buyers to procure a percentage of their total requirement from the women entrepreneurs. Now, such a big marketplace made available for women manufacturers with a small decision. The entire ecosystem, when started working together, realized that there is a need for skill development and networking, and WEP by Niti Aayog was already there. WEP, Women Entrepreneurship Platform, started by Niti Aayog. Many MNCs entered in training women entrepreneurs along with the business skills by introducing the Entrepreneurship Development Program, EDP. Our premium educational institutions couldn't keep away from this wave of creating an army of enterprising women. Few of the initiatives taken by the government in initial days, which are still helping women across India to start the alternative family income, was Mahila E-Heart by Ministry of Women and Child Welfare. And we have so many success stories only based on the Mahila E-Heart. Bharatiya Mahila Bank, which is now a subsidiary of SBI, Mudra Yojana, Dena Shakti scheme in association with Dena Bank, Udyogini scheme by for women having family income below 1.5 lakhs, Sant Kalyani scheme with Central Bank of India, and Mahila Udyam Nidhi with Punjab National Bank. And icing on the cake is the Women Entrepreneurship Platform by the Niti Aayog. Now, WEP offered many benefits like incubation, acceleration programs for the business in their initial stages, skill-based training and mentorship programs to learn about entrepreneurship and leadership, assistance in marketing, support for ensuring the compliances with the laws and the regulations, which is really, really very important for women entrepreneurs, I would say, funding and the financial assistance, community and network of like-minded women, which was really needed for women entrepreneurs again, because we see a lot of male entrepreneurs regularly meet, but women do not get that kind of support in the society. But it's just not that these policies by Modi government had changed the scenario of the women participation in the business in India. It is the response of the private sector by coming forward and participating equally, looking at the determination of the government. And we have seen many MNCs hiring best of the talent and offering best possible training to the budding and aspiring women entrepreneurs through their own curriculum of EDPs. And this aggressive participation by the private sector has brought the massive change in MSME sector by maximum number of women participation. But for these strong and confident measures and the policies and the quickest possible implementation of these policies across India, the private sector would not have stepped forward. Digital India also played a major role in this process. Enabling the digital payments was the most successful decision, I would say, by the government of India, and in quickest time frame and in most efficient way. This had led to single window operations at many government offices, enabling the efficiency and time saving step. This in turn helped women entrepreneurs to concentrate on their business and losing out their energy in running around government offices. Now, I'm describing all these steps by the government to, facilitate the women entrepreneurs with what they could get from. During this time, we have also seen women participation increasing in tech-enabled startups, many of which in fact turned into unicorns. The agencies like NABARD, IDFC, and many more have helped even during the pandemic. The ecosystem has also included the ratings like CIBIL, which Dr. Barua had also mentioned, to help the financial institutions take a decision on lending. Many women entrepreneurs associations across India like Ali, Kobe and like BA, where I'm one of the members there, are also helping women entrepreneurs availing the benefits offered by the government. The commercial business federations across nation like CIA or FICCI or FTCCI have their own women wing to prioritize benefits of their own business members. Not only this, we have also seen lots of venture capitalists who are coming forward and investing in women-led projects based only on the merits. And these women-led businesses have taken the advantage of this financial support and emerged as unicorns in the country. I would also like to mention a few of the organizations, like FIIP and Kobe I have already mentioned, but the organizations like Iron Lady are training and building up the big force of women professionals and women entrepreneurs and contributing in nation building. Now, all this scenario is at macro level. When I'm talking on the implementation of the execution part of these policies, let's look at the impact at the micro level. I would like to divide the women entrepreneurs majorly in 3 categories. Marginalized women from rural India, educated tech employees or the corporates turned into entrepreneurs. And third is a woman, common middle class housewife who want to start additional income for the family. A few successful entrepreneurs this ecosystem has given us, like who were corporate professionals and turned themselves into successful entrepreneurs, are like the most adored success story in this category is Falguni Nair, founder of Nykaa, and I'm confident all of you know Falguni Nair now, a self-made female billionaire entrepreneur who was working with Kotak Mahindra Merchant Banking, and what a story she made. She capitalized on the scope of the beauty and skincare products online, and Nykaa created the history. Graduate from the premium B school, Ahmedabad, 20 plus of plus experience, 20 plus years of experience as venture investor, and awarded as the Business Woman of the Year award and Woman Ahead award by Economic Times. The lady went on to write a big script in Indian startup history. The IPO of Nykaa created a big buzz in share market, and I'm sure many of you are shareholders now. The second such story is Akanksha Hazari, alumnus of prestigious Princeton and Cambridge with 10 plus years of experience in MENA, US and Indian market, created a history by founding Love Local, an e-commerce hypermarket. Awardee of Hertz Prize, US $1 million by getting it from the President Bill Clinton in 2016. She took advantage of the startup boom in India and started Love Local from Hyderabad. There are so many success stories of these well-educated professionals recognizing the advantages of the government had started something called as a startup ecosystem. Now, let's look at the few stories of homemakers who turned successful entrepreneurs. Rekha Kakkar, wife of Air Force soldier, spending maximum of her time in remote military bases, started just a blog, My Tasty Curry. A very common thing to start by housewives across the globe. But she made her mark in top businesswoman of India just based on this particular blog. Sairi Chahal, the lady I really adore. The lady graduated from IMT Ghaziabad, started her career as journalist and created amazing platform by providing home jobs to empower women through FlexiMoms and Sheroes.in. Believe me, many housewives in India swear by her name. She brought such a massive difference in homemakers' life. And now let's have a look at the rural India. It's no well as actually endless stories, a small push-up by ecosystem, and we see rural women grabbing the opportunities. Anita Devi, a mushroom lady from Bihar. Chetana Gala, such a big example for all of us, a social activist worked in the poorest part of India, a classic example of women making women entrepreneurs. Started something incredible, a cooperative bank for the rural ladies. Mandeshi Mahila Sahakari Bank, bringing in huge storm in microcredit industry in rural women segment, which is incredible, really. And I was listening one of her interviews lately. The lady with talks with such a pride, narrating the success stories of her own women entrepreneurs. The credit disbursement by this particular bank in 2018 alone was $50 million US dollars. Imagine the work she had done in the rural area. Hinlas Charol, an entrepreneur from the hilly terrain of the Ladakh, founder of Ladakhi Women Travels Company, an amazing story again, a classic example of women helping women. Created opportunities of self-employment for the women in rural Ladakh and at the same time promoting ecotourism. One more example, Naval Ben Dal Sanghbhai Chaudhary started just a milk-based business in rural Gujarat, and now she owns 150 cattle. Sobita Tamoli, in fact, Prime Minister mentioned this particular subject in his speech in the morning. Housewife from rural Assam started her natural manure business. Papiben Rabari, an inventor in traditional embroidery space, Harjari, is a global brand now. Ladies and gentlemen, this list is endless. When I was preparing this list, somewhere I felt that I'm making injustice to those names which I have not mentioned here today. I personally deal with women entrepreneurs in day-to-day life and offer mentorship. When we mentor the women who are at senior corporate level and aspiring to be board members, I noticed that there is no dearth of talent in women, and their willpower is tremendous, along with the readiness to put that extra bit of hard work to achieve the success. Today, we at VMR help all the women enterprises arise, help making their mark in the market, and are committed to provide them the selling support along with providing the incubation. So we are talking so much about the startup ecosystem, only 40% of it is women. Imagine how far we need to go. And let me mention about this famous Sanskrit quote, Nari Samajasya Kushala Vastukara. Woman is the skilled architect of the society. She has the ability to design, build, and maintain the society. The above examples have actually proved this quote. In our culture, a woman is compared with Mother Earth because a woman has that inborn patience like Mother Earth. She's compassion and empathy personified. She's the samruddhi, the prosperity of the home. Woman is also compared with river. We call our rivers Mata. Did you think why river is our Ma? The river continuously flows. Whatever challenges it faces, it keeps flowing, it never stops. The mother too never stops. She overcomes all the hurdles in life and keeps working for her kids, isn't it? Now, I'll add one more dimension to it. People are always ask me, where do you get the motivation to move ahead? A woman doesn't need a motivation. She herself is the motivation. A small stream of running water hitting big rocks makes those rocks split or break someday. Similarly, the woman keeps trying and she overcomes all the struggle, breaking them into the pieces based on sheer persistence. And I think that's why she's called the Shakti. And she's the strong foundation for any cultured society. And our history is flooded with such kind of examples like the Indian woman warriors, Rani Lakshmi Bai, social reformers like Rani Ahilyabai Holkar, who stood against the stream to protect the culture, the society, and the nation. And so let's be confident that woman is capable, as woman is capable of building the nation, she's certainly capable of building the business empire. But what about the women who haven't gone through such training or education or do not have such background? For women entrepreneurs, even Dr. Barua actually mentioned this, but I would still like to repeat, there are few challenges. She doesn't possess the technical knowledge. She doesn't possess the experience of doing the business. She cannot spare time or step out of the house for marketing her products. She doesn't have the finances, but what she has is the knowledge about the product. She's very good at handling the team, and she's good at foreseeing the market trend and adapt accordingly. And she's good at managing the finances, though she's not having the source for the finances, but she's having a very good record of managing the finances. Now, the big question is, having such a big set of qualities with herself, would the society, the nation, or the family provide her the support in their own capacity to build up the business? The answer may not be known or may be different for case-to-case basis. What is expected that she should be extended the support she needs in every possible way. She should be covered up at home when she's stepping out. She should be made available with the funds for setting up or expanding her business. The society should assist her by buying her products in her own vicinity. A woman should appreciate another woman for the effort she has put in building up the business. Let me put this simple example, very small example. We, a group of 4 women entrepreneurs, were having a virtual meeting maybe 2 years back, something like that. The 4 ladies from 3 different states with different cultural backgrounds and common goal of making friends, and of course, along with bringing the business on table also. But before starting the business talk, we all had a heartful talk. Everyone listening carefully to others' journey and appreciating her efforts to reach the stage she is at, and that too wholeheartedly. Now that listening ear is really required for women, you know. The business, of course, considerable amount followed. Now, here is the journey of a typical woman, and believe me, this is the most common thread in all successful women have seen till now. Women are nowadays highly qualified. The parents, they make the daughter have a good education and a professional education. They prefer a professional education and look out for a bright career for the daughters. But once the girls reach a stage in their career, they are married off. She enters a totally different house of completely unknown people, without her owns around, with a cultural difference, with all wide eyes of the member of her new house upon her, meticulously watching the way she walks, she talks, and everything. Don't really know what she should be going in her mind, what should be going in her mind. The expectation of the perfection in her work, in her walking, talking, behaving, from the very first day she enters the new house, might be putting a lot of pressure on her, isn't it? Slowly she gets adjusted to the new environment. For a few days, she forgets about who she was. She further gets completely into well-being of her family. Day by day, her responsibilities at home keep increasing. As her kids grow, she evolves herself as a mother, facing few challenges of motherhood. And doing all these things, she forgets that she was a career-oriented woman and had a beautiful, highly paying job of her own before marriage. While she and her husband started the career at the same level before marriage, she realizes that he has climbed up many steps on his career ladder, whereas she remained at the base, holding the ladder firmly, making sure that husband doesn't fall or trip. She realizes, but the question is, do the others realize too? By that time, she already had lost a lot of energy, the dependency of her family on her, the mood swings of her teenager, growing kids, the physical, psychological changes she herself goes through, make it more and more difficult for her. But the fire in the belly, the dream, hard work of her parents motivates her to start afresh. And she plunges into the big ocean of her own enterprise, not knowing how to go around, how to start, how to work, whom to contact, nothing. The only thing she knows is that she has to do it. And then the journey starts. The journey full of thorns, full of challenges, full of eyes who scan her every moment, the tongues waiting to comment on her each smaller pauses and picturizing them as a big failures and whatnot. Today, I ask you a favor, in fact, all of you, Are you ready to make a small change just by extending a helping hand to the lady of your home, in your neighborhood, in your society? Hoping for at least a minutest contribution from all of you towards the nation building. The organizations like FIIP are working strongly towards reaching that goal. And in future, looking at this aggression to build up a healthy community of the entrepreneurs, FIIP's contribution to raising an army of successful entrepreneurs will be huge. And I really feel so. I wish the team of FIIP all the best. I would like to end up today on the 75th anniversary of the Bharat's Independence Day, that this year we have already started with a positive note on the women entrepreneurs. We see a lady coming from the remotest part of the country, poor, with the poorest background, and becoming the first citizen of India. Ladies and gentlemen, I'm talking about Mahamahim Rashtrapati Srimati Draupadi Murmu ji. I wish all women entrepreneurs and aspiring women entrepreneurs a great future ahead. I would like to thank FIIP team, Mr. Navnath Devkarji, Dr. Mohiteji, and entire team for giving me this opportunity to present myself on this stage. Thank you so much.
Thank you, ma'am. It's a really inspiring one and really has made us that, yes, how the mother is important. Absolutely, ma'am. True sense. As you have given a wonderful example, and the example was nothing but it's about a river flowing. Yes, you people always continually flow every time and now and that. And Frank, really, it's a really touching one message to us that can we change our perspective towards women? Can we give a little, opportunity to her to grow her career? As we all main dominated in country, but can you change that aspect? Where ma'am has very nicely put, willpower of woman is really strong because she conceived a baby with a great efforts. She carry that you and me in her womb with a great that pains. And we are really thankful for that mother who basically given us birth. Ma'am, thank you for remembering us. Yes, you have given a quality example of Akshaya Hazare, then other Anita Devi, many more others. And you put us all together that how issues to be addressed of businesswomen in days to come. How you have basically pointed out the cultural issues and cultural thought processes where you and me need to address very honestly, and we must have that equilibrium all together with the woman. Madam, really you have enlightened us. And yes, ma'am, any small thing, even a housewife, how they can motivate, a blog writer who made a change, great life. Absolutely, ma'am. This is what the family need to support every woman. This is what, the way you put all together, ma'am, the value of woman. We really very, very happy for your highly contribution to today's thought process. And we assure you on behalf of FIIP, ma'am, the days will change because we have taken the part to move ahead with the thought process to bring the change in that line. So we are harbinger. We want to be capitalists in days to come. Thank you very much, ma'am. Questions will come, ma'am. So you'll have to be there. At the end, we are going to have a question. Thank you very much. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much, sir. Thank you so much.
So nice of you. Friends, now it's time to go to that practical applied, the personality who is caring since few decades. And he's none but the Mr. R. Gopinath Rao, IAS, Deputy Director of MSME Development Institute of Government of India at Bengaluru. He is a BTech by qualification, and he's have a huge professional experience, more than 10 years, especially in textile. I'm very proud to tell you, I also work in textile as HR manager. And, he worked in Binni, Siarams, Gokaldas Image, then Sahi Exports, and Swinberg Knight. Sir, really, it is nice to be, you are here. I'm very, very delighted to be with us, and you have really sponsored us. You have organized with a joint venture the thought process on this Azadi ka Amrut Mahotsav, that is 76th Independence Day. Really, we are happy to know that how every individual can come forward and make this Azadi in true sense in days to come to all entrepreneurs, all concerned citizens of the country. We are wishing every time Happy Independence Day but when it will be happy when we'll put into the right direction. About him, he basically joined MSME Development Institute, Government of India, means after having the industrial experience, and he put his last 24 years a great serving towards in Haryana, North India. Nearly 3 years he served in Shillong. Then he worked in Northeast India, Meghalaya also, and he has organized more than 200 training programs with a proper, appropriate way he conducted with the case studies and all. He took ahead to organize national level and state level the development programs exclusive for MSMEs, and he assisted more than 100 entrepreneurs practically to sustain in the market through scheme, basically marketing and etc. Recently, he's heading Champions Portal Division of Connecting and SMEs with the banks, state bank, government of departments, industrial association, NGOs, testing laboratories, and central government department. Being a digital era, he has organized online session, more than 200 plus in that line. And sir, we are very fortunate to be with us all together. And we are sure, sir, to raise your enlightenment, what the role of the Indian economy in that through the banking especially. How the bank, definitely, sir, you are going to improvise us, you are going to make in that line. Over to you, sir.
Thank you, sir. Thank you so much, Mr. Amrut Mahotsav, for introducing me. And I thank each one of you and all the viewers on the occasion of 75th Independence Anniversary, Amrut Mahotsav. And it's a great day for all of us. We are entering the new India, new entrepreneurship, new area of operations, new dynamic India. We are going to create a new dynamic India. And the last for 75 years, we have seen a tremendous growth from starting scratch level to this level we have reached. So it's a wonderful opportunity to know how India grew. And in that growth of our economy, the MSME played a major role. Right from 73 onwards, 70s onwards, where the numbers were less and the contribution to GDP were less, and almost it was around less than 10% digit growth rate in that time, from 73 to almost to 1990, before 1991 when the economy was open. So during that time, because the growth was not much encouraged, because it was under production cover. India, MSMEs were on production, government productions. So now, after 1991, when the economy was liberalized, open, and foreign markets started coming in, the MSMEs started experiencing their strength. And that time we found that there is a drop in the growth rate around minus 40% that time. So it was a very less. And soon after 1991, when the economy was open, after 2 to 3 years, we found the growth rate again increased. Till 2016, we are finding almost 14-15% growth rate in the growth of MSMEs. The reason is important is it is the employment provider. Major point is employment provider. So earlier we had the less number in 73 to almost 90, where the growth, where the contribution to GDP was around 7,000 to 7,800 crores almost. That was the contribution. Now today we have almost 30% growth, 30% to the GDP. And number, if you look at that, almost 6.5 crores. That time it was around 100 crores. Now it is almost 6 times it has increased. The most growth, if you see the number and the why the number has increased, that is also one of the points which we should know. The government policies, that is very easy of doing business. That is the main point which we are now focusing on that. Because ease of business is very much important, where we have to give a lot of supports for entrepreneurs to start their businesses. In the case of registration of MSME, earlier we had EM Part 1, EM Part 2, Yogada Memorandum, everything we had just like license Raj. Now we had nothing is there. It is almost online registration where you can register and start the business. That is the simplest way that government has made it. Today we have almost 600 crore SMEs, but on the portal we have seen almost 1 crore plus that SME has registered. Out of that, 85% are micro enterprises. If you see the number, micro enterprises numbers, it really is giving a great contribution to the growth of country. That's why most of our schemes, government of India schemes, are mainly focusing on the development of micro enterprises and the small enterprises. Today, the credit flow has made very easy because it's giving a good support to the growth. And we are aiming at 50%, 30%, 50% growth, another 10, 15 years. That is a government aim to make SME its major role in the development of economy. And apart from that, we are also seeing the growth which we see after 1991, almost 2 decades now, 3 decades now. So the tremendous growth. Why is growth? Because ultimately the government of India has made some of the policies very simple. Because of that, the investment started coming in. And the number increased and the number of MSMEs are increasing now. And the documents which are required for the setting of industries are also made very less, very simple. And to encourage further the growth of these MSMEs, we have schemes which will help the MSMEs to accept and start the industries. For example, when the young entrepreneur wants to start industry, the enhancement of a credit limit from 25 lakhs to 50 lakhs in the case of Prime Minister Employment Generation Program, which is one of the best schemes where almost more than 5 lakh entrepreneurs units have been set up across country and providing a wide number of employment opportunities, especially PME. There is a beginning for younger generations. First generations, they can use this opportunity. Now the amount has been increased from 25 to 50 lakhs for manufacturing and 20 lakhs for service sectors. So if you look at from 70s to 1990, the SMEs were not concentrated in a formal way. It was called by small scale industries, tiny industries, and textile industries, square board industries, like that. It was all not a formal way. After 2006 onwards, when it was made MSME Act, the definition of MSMEs were defined. And once it is done, again on 2020 onwards, 2020, July, we defined again with the MSME Act, definition was again changed, where the micro, small enterprises, micro was from 1 crore to 5 crore. 1 crore is the investment on plant and machinery, and 5 crore the turnover. In this July 2020, one important decision was taken to include the turnover component in the MSME definition, which made more number of MSMEs coming to the picture. And the definition was from micro for 1 crore investment on plant and machinery, and 50 crores, 10 crores, and the 5 crores up to turnover in the case of micro, and 10 crores up to investment on plant and machinery, and 50 crores on the turnover component in the case of small scale industries, and above 50 to 250 is under medium scale industries. So this gives a boost to the MSMEs, which is giving a very good support. And this further time, they also government thought to help these MSMEs. MSME, looking at the contribution to the GDP, they also made 200 crores up to 200 global tenders. The removal of global tenders up to 200 crores. So because of that, more MSMEs also now coming to the picture. Now they are participating more number of government tenders. So if you see that, the role is very, very appreciable, and it should be continued for a long time, because the MSME is the backbone and the pillar of our Indian economy. And if you see the growth rate from past 50 years, that's around, I started with the 9%, 5, 9, 8%, single digit. Now it is almost 15%, 14, 15% growth rate that we have seen. So growth almost doubled from past 25, 30 years. So this will give an opportunity for all entrepreneurs, young entrepreneurs, to opt for the self-employment. We have schemes which will help these young entrepreneurs to look at it and start MSMEs. Because industry always needs government support. The MSMEs, in particular MSME, needs a survival. When it was under protection cover from the government side before 1990, it is open before the LPG. It was under, the company is not exposed. It was finding some, there was no competition among them. Now after LPG, we find it was given the opportunity for them to expose themselves, to see the new era, new market, new people, new networking. So now it's continuing. After 30 years now, we are seeing the growth rate. So even during the pandemic, we saw it had experienced 2 years problems. Now we are seeing it is bouncing back because it has got a capacity to come back. There's a capacity to bounce back to the normal. At the same time, the scheme for especially credit facilities, which was announced during the pandemic situation, we see initially there was a good number of entrepreneurs that used the emergency credit line. Now it's slowly down. Even though it has made to 5 lakh crores, the numbers have come down. That means why? The MSME has started bouncing back and the economy is growing. So looking at this, the limit in which we are given 5 lakh crores, it has come down. That's a number of MSMEs for opting for loan. Its numbers has come down. In the 2021 and 21-22, it was more. Now it was come down. Because looking at this, the MSME is now gaining its field strength. It is coming back. So that means it has got a capacity to bounce back. So this is the most important point where MSME has to support, and MSME is in future also it's going to support for the economy. So we have schemes called quality certification, which will another way where MSME is going to get a benefit. For example, Z certification. Most of the MSMEs are not aware of the qualities. So they are very much back in the quality awareness programs. So in order to encourage these MSMEs, government has come out with a new scheme called Z certification, that's zero defect, zero effect, which will make the MSMEs very strong, make a competitiveness in the global market. To make the global market competitiveness, these certificate companies, SMEs will play a major role in building up our economy. Especially earlier we had 5 certificates in Z certificates. Now we have reduced to 3 certificates, bronze, silver, and the gold. These 3 certificates are very simple and the parameters are also very, very simple, simplified. For bronze, we have to take around 5 parameters that the unit has to fulfill. For taking the silver certificate, the 9 parameters, that is 5 plus 9, 14 parameters have to be fulfilled. For a gold certificate, another 6, that is total 20 parameters have to be fulfilled. So MSMEs having these certificates are also getting benefits, other benefits from the government of India in terms of financials, like participating in the trade fair or the railways logistics systems or a rate of interest in the bank. So all these things have also been considered for MSMEs in the Z certified unit. So in total, I should say, being the largest and the second place in employment opportunities, this sector is playing a major role. And we have almost in financial service also, where financial support, for example, maybe Mudra scheme, or a Stand Up India, or a CCTV scheme, where we are trying to help the MSMEs to assist in the finance. For example, Mudra, we almost crossed 66,000 crores almost. So we have already issued. And for example, Stand Up India, which is exclusively for MSMEs, for I think the women entrepreneurs or SEST categories. That is also been supported by the bankers. So in nutshell, say, if you look at the schemes as well as the numbers of MSMEs are increasing, definitely it has got a wide scope and then very, very good support for Indian economy. And if you look at the Udyam portal, that is which has been simplified by the government, where the numbers of MSMEs are daily updating, till almost it crossed 1,05,000, 1 crore 5,000. So apart from that, we are also supporting the MSMEs to come up with various training programs where the in-house training programs we are trying to give for MSME employees for increasing their output, quality, and the production capacity. So that in nutshell, the government is trying to help the MSMEs in improving their productivity as well as managing marketing support. Marketing, we have to increase the MSMEs. Why it is why it should be given? Because marketing becomes the most important for MSMEs. The role, it is because once we set the ball for this MSMEs, automatically the MSMEs start growing. Because we have to give a handholding support. In every scheme, if you see, for example, Z certification, if you want to take this bronze certificate or a silver or a gold certificate, any certificate you want to acquire, then automatically handholding support is given if the unit wants to grow, change, acquire a certificate from one level to another level to the third level. Like that, if there is a graduation, then handholding support will be given. That means MSME is being with support to grow. So these schemes will help the MSMEs to grow further and contribute to the economy. So always, whenever we try for marketing to help the MSMEs, we have trade fair facilities where the MSMEs, if they want to participate in the trade fair or district, domestic or international trade fair, then we are going to reimburse the MSMEs for the expenditure which is incurred for the stall rent or any other logistic facility they use. That is also another way where we support the industries, which will increase the MSMEs to take part in the trade fair, improve their networking and the marketing support. So indirectly, they are also playing a major role in contributing. That is, the continuity is maintained from their existing level to the higher level. So identifying the marketing is very important. When all these facilities are given, they also indirectly support the growth of economy. So the role played by the MSME today is enormous, and it's really worth to appreciate all these entrepreneurs. Not only they are supporting the economy, at the same time they are also supporting indirectly their society for the growth of their families also. They are supporting their children's, they are supporting their growth, and all these things we are seeing. Today we are experiencing the problem of women entrepreneurs when they want to start industries or SMEs. You find a lot of problems, family problems. Indirectly, all the government of India has come up with special schemes extremely financing the women entrepreneurs to start the industries or to start their business, either in the market, either in the manufacturing or the service sectors. The Stand Up India is one of the best schemes where we are trying to help the women entrepreneurs or SC/ST categories. So in order to include all these categories in the growth of economy, the role of MSMEs becomes very important, where we are going to support these MSMEs. And earlier we had Ministry of Small Scale Industries, and another agro industries, Ministry of Small Scale Agro Industries. After 2007, we merged into MSME, Micro and Small Enterprises, and MSME, Ministry of totally it came. Why? Because this being the important sector where the government focuses and give a lot of support through various schemes. And separate ministries established because of this to improve and growth of the MSMEs. Because the growth you see from past 50 years, 5 decades or 6 decades, slowly it is acquiring, it is increasing in terms of employment, in terms of marketing, in terms of product diversions. It can, and also at the same time of service providers, because since not only we are focusing on marketing and also we are focusing on service, which is very, very equal. Equally, manufacturing and the service sectors are viewed equally from past 2 years, but after redefining the MSME sectors, that is definition of MSME. So even the schemes which are being applied for manufacturing, same is being applied to the scheme, service sector also. So there is a importance for allowing the growth of these manufacturing as well as the service sectors. So the MSME being the important sector in the growth of our economy and supporting our society as well as for the growth of economy. So our schemes, which we are now giving a support through trade fairs, marketing, finance. So all these things will definitely help the MSMEs to grow in all round. And one more point which I want to make it here is especially the the schemes which we are trying to help the MSMEs. Majorly, we are focusing on the marketing support for MSMEs. And recently, we have separate requirement. For example, in order to MSME, we have a GEM portal, because government e-marketing, where all micro and small enterprises must register in the GEM portal, so that this micro and small will play a major role. And once they registered in the GEM portal as a vendor, it can become the vendor for PSUs or any government of India departments or ministries, which is a mandatory, because under public policy, 25% of all MSMEs, all PSUs or ministries, they must procure 25% of their annual requirement only from micro and small enterprises, which is a very good for all MSMEs, because this will help enhance their marketing support. Once they increase their marketing support, naturally they grow. When they grow, automatically it contributes more to the economy. And also it is contributing to this export. Nearly 45% of these things are contributing to the export area. In sometimes it is coming to 50%. Though some of them are directly not exporting, they are even exporting through third-party agencies. So that is the role the MSME is playing a major export line. So, and recently the government has introduced one more scheme called procurement and marketing scheme. Under that, we have all MSMEs which are manufacturing unit and having a products, they are going to be supported through barcodes reimbursement scheme. Why barcode? Because most of the products which are manufactured in the manufacturing side needs to get a barcode. So here, to encourage MSMEs, we are going to reimburse the funding support those MSMEs which are going to acquire barcodes up to 100 numbers. So now the more and more products, more and more manufacturing sectors, they are now started getting the barcodes. Recently, the new scheme that has been announced, under that, the more and more we are giving awareness, so that all MSMEs can make use of these opportunities for barcode reimbursement. And also further, the vendor development program, which is also key programs which are MSMEs where they need marketing supports. Under public policy, we know that is 25% procurement is compulsory, mandatory. When this take place in the vendor development programs, all PSUs are going to be procured from the MSCs. We know every year, almost Government of India procures more than 1,45,000 crores worth of items every year. So in this, it's a role of MSME. Now we understand it is almost contributing. Procurement is only from MSCs around 40 to 45,000 crores out of 150,000 crores. You can imagine around 35 to 40% or from the MSC micro and enterprises. So imagine what is the biggest contribution in our procurement policies government has taken this. So we have to support, and at the same time, MSME also has undergone a lot of changes after this LPG. New technologies have been accepted. New investors have invested in the sector, and more technical supports have been given across all the sectors. And of course, from Stand Up India, which is exclusively for MSME, for setting up of women and SC/ST categories, there also numbers are slowly increasing. Earlier, it was representation was on women categories was around 10 to 17%. Now it is almost coming to 45-50% their representation in the MSME sectors. So looking at this, these schemes are all slowly helping them so that their numbers are also slowly increasing. So in nutshell, this is one. India has got a lot of opportunities. It has got wide opportunities from all the angles, even for education, even for industry setup, even for technology investment, even for R&D, everything. Now, in another 20-25 years, we are sure that instead of becoming the third fastest growing economy, it will become a fastest growing economy. So there is possibilities are there because the proactive policy of the government will definitely help the MSMEs. At the same time, the government in the MSME entrepreneurs are also now undergoing a lot of changes because they are also getting a lot of information, data sharings because of digital. Globally, we are all competitive through digital way. We are the number one. So digital infrastructure, we are better than any other countries. That is also helping a lot of MSMEs. So today we are sitting across MSMEs now sourcing the raw materials or technology or anything from any corner of the globe with a short period of time. So that is make changes. That's the changes we are observing. And to encourage this, we have got a digital MSMEs scheme, and we have got a cluster development program which will enable the MSMEs to fight competitiveness, to face the competitiveness, to face the challenges. Cluster development program, which is one of the flagship of our industry program, which is helping many MSMEs to come together under one umbrella and solve the problems. Common facility centers we are set up across that. Looking at the growth, we are setting up the common facility centers. Almost 100 clusters across India, with the investment of each cluster around 15 crores grant. Why? Because these MSMEs can make use of these common facility centers to solve their common problems, like common raw material bank, common facilities like acquiring common machineries, R&D departments, training programs, testing centers, effluent treatment plant. All these common areas we can set up under the cluster development program, which will encourage MSMEs to utilize the common facility centers. So these all the things that we are trying to help industries at the same time, MSMEs also making use of that, which will enable them to come forward and make use of the opportunities and grow further and support the economy. And with this, I think a few figures may be sufficient for all these things. Any questions in the question and answer? I'm ready to answer for that.
Thank you, sir. It's a wonderful thought process, sir. I'm very happy to have enlightenment on the area, especially your focus, sir, the government production after 1991, that how the basically SMEs were working all together. As you rightly pointed out with some figure, the turnover, the ratios as per the inline. But the point which very important you highlighted is quality certification, sir. Absolutely, sir. Without quality, nothing is going to survive in the market. And here, highly appropriately, mention the thing in that way. You mentioned another very, very important point is that marketing. Yes, sir. Marketing perspective is very, very important. Altogether, we are not taking the care of marketing. And we are very proud to tell you, sir, Navaurja and our Industrial Insights, these two programs are going to do the miracle in days to come. And likewise, you people who talent pool of country will definitely come and will make a sense to all together, to all MSMEs to grow together in that line. I have few questions we have received from all concerned our participants. Definitely, three of you, I will throw this question to three of you. I will not select one by one of you. Whatever you feel fit according to your own domain expertise, I will definitely love into that to talk any one of you, because this is what this forum is here to understand and to enhance the further in a larger scale in that line of thought process. So we have some questions, and these questions will make altogether a very, very important to everyone here. One of very, very important question has received from one of our participant. Senior citizen has to pay income tax, but he is denied for a life insurance. Very funny. Absolutely, this is a fact question he has put in front of us. And loan, etc. Senior citizen like me or Barua sir, and those people are retired, definitely of thinking something to do miracle in days to come. Then why banking is not supporting? The question is that from you. I think so, sir. Anyone of you can highlight, especially you three, very well connected with the banking sector too. So this party must remove. So what actually this worried in that line? So need to work on policies. He highlighted the question on how we can reform the policies according to need of that particular thought process. I think so, Baruaji, you always think of the, restructuring the policy, innovation the policy. I'm sure, sir, you can also highlight. And from woman perspective, Suchetaji, you can also put. And sir, you are there who can also enlighten from how you basically, intervene the policy making a change. So all to one by one, first to Samirji, then Suchetaji, and then sir to you. Yeah, I'm catching three of you, don't worry. Yeah, Samirji, you unmute yourself and please. Unmute yourself. You muted, sir. Unmute, sir, unmute. You three now, you just unmute yourself. सुचेता जी और समीर जी, आप लोग आपको खुद को अनम्यूट कीजिए. सर, आपका आवाज नहीं आ रहा है, आप अनम्यूट कीजिए. समीर जी, अनम्यूट योरसेल्फ. डॉक्टर समीर जी.
Samir ji, please unmute yourself.
Unmute yourself. What wrong? Samir ji, we are not getting you. You are unmute yourself. Oh, cross. I could not getting. Okay. Can you unmute and then speak?
Yeah, now I can. You have stopped me from.
No.
So I was trying to unmute, but then the host was not allowing.
No, sir. Host is I know,
problem. This is one problem.
No problem.
It
is nothing talent transforming, sir.
What I always say is this: the policies, I never find fault with policies, because some of the best brains goes into formulation of the policies. They will look into comma, full stop, everything. But the problem is the policy formulators may have had the grassroots level exposure 20 years back or 25 years back. Now they are sitting at the top management level or the top executive level, and they are formulating the policies, and these policies are pan-India circulated for implementation. Now, what is required, but I have always emphasized, I am telling the grassroots level implementers, what is preventing you from taking up with your higher authorities on a very positive note, not finding fault with the policy, but then under local conditions, if there are requirements for some sort of interventions in these policies, nobody is preventing you from taking it up with the higher authorities. Unfortunately, our people at the grassroots level, the implementers, they have a fear that if we take up such matters, then the higher authorities may find fault with us. Unlike in the US or other places where the boss and the junior, they can argue. In our context, if the junior argues, then it will be taken as argumentative in nature. In the CR form that will be coming. So here what is required, that if there are need and necessity at the implementing level, that there are requirements for some sort of intervention or policy, I would request all the implementers that they should take up in a very presentable manner with full regards and respect. They should, with facts and figures, I think that they should take up. For example, in the banking industry, with like other industry, there is a deviation policy. I always tell the branch managers that you are a manager, and if you do not deviate, then you are like a messenger. If you are deviating in public interest, then the policy says that you should be able to take up this matter with your higher authorities. And the policy says that within 3 days, if you don't get a confirmation, that means it is taken on record that it has been confirmed. So such stipulations are always there. Our policymakers, that's why I always heads off to them. They put a lot of effort in order to come out with policies, and there may be depending on the local conditions, etc. There can be some, because India is a huge country. For example, Northeast itself is like a miniature India. So you have a lot of practices in banking, as I mentioned, that banking is theory and practice. So obviously there will be some sort of deviations without violation. We can deviate and then accordingly take up.
Thank you, sir. Wonderful, sir. Very nicely and aptly you have pointed out. And thank you for this wonderful answer. Sucheta ji, from woman perspective, please.
Yeah, actually, women faces this problem more because the kind of health hazards the women are facing in senior, after 60 is like on a higher level. In fact, I would say, forget the life insurance, but even the health insurance is not available for the senior citizens and including women. But I may not be the person to comment on the policies and why it's not done and all, because I'm not from the person from the economic background and working at the government. But yes, I do hope government will definitely consider it and bring down the taxes for senior citizens and even for the women, and even I'm hoping for providing the health insurance at least for the senior citizens. In some of the companies actually are providing the health insurance for the senior citizens, so it will be actually provided by the government also. So hoping for the best possible solution by the government policy. Thank you.
Thank you, ma'am. Sucheta ji. Yeah, in action, you are working, sir. Gopinath Rao ji, over to you. And again, it is a very needy point to be explaining. Yeah, Gopinath ji, please.
Of course, we also have to pass through that route. So, see, it's a good question actually, the genuine question. Why we have been not giving any loan or any insurance policy after retirement, that is say 60. And there are cases though, especially in the case of government line, when they have working in the government, they are maybe getting pension, that is one thing. Because of course, pension they have stopped from 2004 onwards, those who are recruited after 2004 onwards. That is also now, it is not there, it is NPS. And looking at this status, no, I mean, once after 60 years, when you complete your service, no, the government, I mean, or a banker's side point of view, they will see, okay, loan if it is given or payment policy is given, what is the source of income, how they are going to repay it or pay the premium. That's a question arises. It's my personal view on general job, that's why I'm talking. Because I also don't know this question you put me, then I started thinking, what is the next? Because when we retire, what is the next? We also start thinking that. So then I thought maybe it's a policy making decision. And also, what is the next means? How the repayment repayment comes back to the bankers. That is also one way. And how the premium is to be given to the LIC or policy, insurance policy company. These two areas where they are trying to expect the return from the customers. And before that, they also see the source of income, how the source of income comes for returning, taking back their money or payment or repayment. That is one area. And I think something is to be made, policy is to be decision is to be made from the government side. I hope in future it may somebody goes to some judiciary on a level, it may drag the issue in the court and then it may take a shape, I don't know, maybe there. And then the government may come into the picture.
Okay. Thank you, sir. Absolutely fantastic. And another one question which needed to be, discussed rather to enlighten light from all of you, three of you, definitely. Because, every your individual having a unique knowledge and experience-wise, because your work on ground, your work on that area where it is needed to work. No, that is what. One question is here that how the bank people can evaluate the economic aspect rather than only financial aspects. So the question which really, needed to be addressed in that way. So over to one by one, please. Take up one by one, please. Gopinath Rao ji, you please take it now. First, then I will go to last with the Samir ji. So
evaluating the enterprise.
Yeah, see, the bank people means those bankings are there, all bank people are working all together. So can you evaluate economic aspect rather than the only financial aspect from processing loans, whatever the loans are they're processing, how they can think from that perspective, especially in the rural areas. Sir. The concern is the rural area, not of the urban areas. In from that perspective, yes, sir.
So rural areas, see, the rural economy is also important, as important as urban economy. That is most important. When you say rural, certain parameters, certain factors we have to consider while sanctioning the loan or dispersing the. I think bankers will be able to tell you much better than me. Whatever the things which I have seen as a committee member, they first see the some of the backgrounds of the entrepreneurs, which is very important because we have to take care of. I mean, keep our in mind that NPA cases. That's very, very important because most of the schemes, especially in Mudra, which is very up to 10 lakhs, the government has made liberalization where you don't have to take any collateral something. Now, in that case, most of the cases that they take it into granted and the 10 lakh is available. Okay, that is one point. Taking the background of entrepreneur, the project importance of the project in that particular zone where it's got a marketing support or customers who are there. Then some of the ground factors and the education background of the entrepreneur experience and all these things we have to take into consideration before processing the document, because maybe if it's very near to the metro cities, the marketing will be good, or if it is somewhere in the remote area, again the establishment of unit in that case also becomes difficult. And you have to see all this parameter. One is logistic, the rest for the raw material, how he has going to arrange, it's depending on the project, how he is going to arrange the raw material for the manufacturing side unit. And then the availability of skilled labor is, suppose, very, very, very important when you start the industries. And availability of skilled labor, whether it is available in particular zone or not, rural area. And nowadays we are there are certain industries which are located very close to the village level, because they can get the employment opportunity for, especially for women entrepreneurs. So that is the one we have seen many branded garment manufacturers. They are relocated to near to the rural area, because there they can get the skilled laborers. They can train them in their own in-house facilities and then provide. Like that facility is also, they have to look into that. These are the major some points which are into that before the loan being sanctioned from the banker's perspective.
Thank you.
What I was seeing in my committee decision.
Yeah, thank you, sir. Thank you. Yeah, ma'am, can you please?
Yeah, actually, the question is I rightly asked. I mean, it should be the proper question, and even we face such problems like why the services by the bank shouldn't be provided to evaluation of the capital goods and all this. But the thing is, I don't know how it works at the bank level or MSME level. But what I can say is that the Women Entrepreneurs Association and our Women Entrepreneurs Association also helps women entrepreneurs to with all these facilities. So we at our own level do this and help out women entrepreneurs. So I'm really unaware, because when I started, I also faced a similar kind of problem. But now we have the service providers as one of our as our consultants on board, and we are like helping our women entrepreneurs with finding the solution on this problem.
Thank you, ma'am. समीर जी, अतुल, समीर जींना अनम्यूट करा, कारण कधी-कधी महे केले जाते.
Okay, sir. Okay.
Just wait, Samir ji. I know that. Yes, sir. You are there, sir. Samir ji.
Yeah, thank you very much. Actually, see, fundamentally, the bankers, when they do the credit appraisal, they always look at from the financial management angle. Whereas in most cases, the consultants who are doing the projects, the consultants are always looking at the proposals, the projects from the tax management angle. This is where there used to be sort of yeah, that the bankers, when they are looking into, and they go by the principles of financial management, whereas the consultant has put up the proposal on the principles of tax management. Of course, now with digitization, things are going to change because we are going to become more transparent, and then obviously all these problems should be over. Second part of it, as far as the bank is concerned, why do they ask for so many papers or so much of? Because they did not have past records of the client with them. I had in my talk also, I had emphasized on the point that it is necessary on the part of the entrepreneurs, whenever they start, normally they start with their own capital, maybe 10,000, 20,000, 1 lakh, 2 lakh, whatever it is. The day they start the business, they must, like when we are born, our parents give a name to us. Similarly, when they start a business, they must name the business, obtain a trade license, open the account, current account with 10,000, 20,000, with whatever capital it is. And from day one, let them create the necessary record with the bank, so that as and when they will scale up, they will get the support from the bank with lesser documents, with lesser papers. Most papers are required in order to substantiate or reconstruct the business since its inception. Otherwise, the banks do not find any sort of way in asking for so many papers. Some cases with very minimum of papers also, with minimum of records also, they can get the loan because they already have an existing history of the transactional relationship with the bank. This is something very important. I think we should pass this information to all women entrepreneurs, and Madam has been selling very nice. In fact, I have been also working in the field of women entrepreneur for a long time, and we will have some occasions later on to talk. But fundamentally, if we create transactional relationship with the bank, that the sky is the limit. As I said in the beginning, एक मूची को बाटा बना सकते हैं, एक ऑटो वाला को टाटा बना सकते हैं बैंक. Bank is having so much of capacity, the sky is the limit. But unfortunately, the bankers are complaining. They are saying we are not getting enough of records of the clients. The financial records are not there. The business records are not there. They come and ask for the moon. We can't give them. So these are certain issues.
Right, sir. Right. Wonderful, sir. Yeah, very rightly pointed out, sir. And, last question, but very important question. It's coming from Tamil Nadu. That small village lab in Tamil Nadu, how to proceed? So I think so technical question to Gopinath Raoji towards you, that how, small village lab in Tamil Nadu, how to proceed for that? Now that way the question, concerning with the village development, rural development. Yeah, over to you, Gopinath.
Sir, village development. Hello.
Yeah.
See, one point is we have rural development schemes. For example, when we have a training program, especially the group training programs. So we have focusing on particularly for women entrepreneurs, which are located in the village side. And we have certain schemes now, especially for training side, that will help them to get the training program, because village lab means what concept this they are telling, but we have a training program especially for promote these women entrepreneurs, so they can select any project which they want to start under the self-help group. That is a group with a minimum 20 members, that where we can increase to 25 members. These group 25 members can start any of the projects which is under they like it, and then for them that particular training program will be given, and then financial assistance can be given, and automatically that their growth can be monitored time to time, and providing access to the credit facilities, and also for the marketing support. So this is the way how we are trying to do that. But in particularly this word what they used, that is MSME, especially village lab, you can say. There's another form. I think it may be another form of this SSG. They might have used this word.
Okay, sir. Wonderful, sir. Yeah. There is actually one village, one product, sir. The thought process.
What is
one
that?
village, one product.
one district, one product.
Yeah, one village, one product. So now before that, Samirji, Atul, please unmute Karan Channa. Please unmute.
Yes, sir.
Samirji.
Just give me one
Unmute.
minute. Yeah.
Don't worry, sir. Samirji, we are unmuting you. Unmute करता है automatically. So just make him unmute him.
Yes.
नहीं झाले.
एक मिनिट सर.
Just a minute, sir. Just a minute. Yes, sir.
As I was in Tamil Nadu, and I was author of a business model called IOB Sampurna.
Okay.
The gentleman who has asked this question, I would request them to visit Kothampakkam. It's
Okay.
about 60 kilometers away from Chennai.
Okay.
There 20 villages, we had transformed 20 villages, the bank as a facilitator and as a funding agency. There is a very renowned gentleman by the name of Ilango Rangaswamy. And the gentleman can go and see for themselves that what sort of transformation had taken place in these 20 villages, where the consumers and the producers were connected, and the wealth of all these 20 villages were remaining in these 20 villages, and the surplus was being marketed out so that it was adding on to the wealth of the. There, what we did, it was a comprehensive project where the bank and many corporates came in, including the MS Swaminathan Foundation for Agriculture Research, for providing some inputs on agriculture. Similarly, we identified the interventions that are required in these 20 villages. We identified the corporates who have core competency as far as the particular aspect is concerned. We had roped in, and it became a very successful sort of project. And even our former president Abdul Kalam Saab, he wanted to come there and hoist the white flag, which in Tamil Nadu, if villages become self-sufficient, they would like to hoist the white flag. That was there. I would suggest, because time is short for all of you, I would suggest that the gentleman may visit Kothampakkam. That is 60 kilometers away from here. They can go there and see for themselves what sort of transformations can take place in the rural areas where banks interventions are there.
Sir, please, can you please share this details, sir, so that I will inform my MSME.
Definitely.
People
From Mohiteji, I will get your number, Rao Saab.
Yeah, please, sir.
And I will take your number, and then I will accordingly share the number of Ilango Rangaswamy. He is remaining in touch even with me now. He is a Gandhian, and he has started a Panchayat Academy there. And that a sort of a revolution had taken place in those villages. In a very success story which has been taken to other parts of the country also.
Thank you, sir. Thank you. See, in a short, I will say, Samirji is not only for one Assam. He's for the whole country, and he's for the whole nation to make in that line. I hope now everybody is getting that he spoke about the Tamil Nadu. When you talk about even Pune, he immediately quoted someone friend to me.
Yes, Pune, because from banking point of view, Pune has been our, because we used to go to NIBM, we used to go to the CAB, RBI, College of Agriculture Banking, and then, so Pune for a banker.
Very nice.
Sir, it is very much interesting to work in central government, because I also worked in Shillong. We started this turmeric cluster.
Oh, very good.
In Garo Hills. I think Garo Hills or something. Smith
village. In Meghalaya, in Jaintia Hills.
Meghalaya. We started the first time when we started this turmeric cluster. I personally visited that village, and then we had a discussion. We started that.
You get the best quality turmeric from here.
Yes, sir. Exactly.
In fact, Northeast is, I don't know, we are not getting much of importance earlier. But now, of course, thanks to our Prime Minister, he's taking a lot of interest.
Excellent road connections, everything is very fantastic.
Lot of activities are going on with the active policy and connecting. Because see, we are 98% international borders. We are connected to mainland India by 2%, that is about 22 kilometers, the chicken state. And otherwise 98% international borders. So if we have good sort of here, then we can become really boom here.
Especially sir, from
Shillong. The capital formation required here, people are not having that much of capital.
No. Especially sir, especially from Shillong to Guwahati airport. Excellent infrastructure where we can reach by 2.5 hours. The roads are 4 lines, 8 lines. It's excellent.
We invite all of you. We invite, no, Rao Saab is also doing that. And then we are also inviting all of you to come. Madam, please come here.
Sure,
A lot of women
An
entrepreneurs.
excellent place.
Lot
First
of
visit
women
Shillong, sir. Shillong you
entrepreneurs, and
visit.
then they are,
Be
women
there
are
for
very
some.
hardworking. They are very
Samirji.
nice, very good.
Samirji, the
Yes.
journey has begun today. It will end till our last breath, because
Yes.
FIIP has that mission and vision towards the working towards the nation, sir. Nation
Yes.
building. आत्मनिर्भर भारत बनाने के लिए हम सब कुछ कोशिश कर रहे हैं. एक आखिरी सवाल है, और भी एक जो भी सज्जन ने पूछा है, वो
So,
कहते
sir,
हैं.
one point I would like to make. Before,
Please, sir, please, sir.
when I was transferred from Shillong to Bangalore, my hometown, I cried like anything before leaving that place.
Oh,
For
okay.
3 years.
Lots of people I have found in my whole country experience. I have found lot of persons who
Yeah.
had worked in Northeast and they have very fond memories.
Yes, very beautiful.
They say people are so nice, so simple, so good.
Yeah, so
Actually,
nice
our
of you.
people throughout the country are good.
Absolutely, sir. That's the point, sir. That's the point. Wonderful. Last question is that during the pandemic, what happened? Not many, entrepreneurs faced a lot of issues, but bankers are not interested to give that particular loans. This is the last question. So why banking, basically, rather managers reluctant to give loans after the pandemic? Yeah. Atul, please unmute to Samirji. Again, he muted him.
Yes.
Make him unmuted. Yeah. What wrong? I don't know with the technology. Anyway, something may be wrong. Gopinath Rauji, can you
Sir,
put your thought?
Sir, after pandemic, no. During pandemic situation, we know the problem what the MSME has faced. For that one, we government started introducing emergency credit guarantee line, that is ECGCL. So where earlier it was given a target of 3 lakh crores, and later it increased to second 2.0. It came to 4,50,000 crores. Again, made it to 5 lakh crores now, up to March 23. There's been a time limit. Almost now 3.5 crores, roughly 3.5 crores has been sanctioned now out of this loan availability. But still the rate has come down because, as I told you, the MSME is now bouncing back to normal side, and they are getting the funding from their buyers and they think so now it's growing. Now I think they may not need a loan now at present. But at that time now, based on the reference date announced by the government, as of that 20% and plus 10%, almost 30% of the outstanding loan, whatever they had, according to that, they are supposed to get the credit. Even the bankers, they called over phone and they directly transferred the fund to their account. That is in particular scheme they have, because they know the bankers, they would make they were not able to release the fund if they ask them to go directly under the scheme. This particular scheme helped them a lot, and then now it has picked up a lot, and more and more MSMEs are helped. As per the recent survey by the SBI, we came to know that almost 13.5 lakh units were saved from this particular scheme, as per the SBI survey.
Wonderful, wonderful. Thank you for this contribution, sir. I'm very thankful to all three speakers, the way you have, answered elaborately. I know the time is constrained. I know the time is very much constrained. Yeah. Samirji, you want to say something, please?
Yeah. See, I fully agree with Mr. Rao. Actually, there is unfounded fear in the minds of bank managers.
Okay.
There is no reason why they should suffer from credit aversion and risk aversion. The other day, I was invited as a chief guest of one of their leading public sector banks. They had a conclave in Northeast. I had made it very clear to the branch managers, if you want to play safe and you want to protect yourself, remaining in a banking organization, you are accepting deposits from the public, and that's a liability for you unless you repay it back to them with interest. Now, if you stop giving loans, then your bank's existence itself will get affected. You are trying to protect yourself by not giving a loan, forgetting the fact that you are also quite young. If in a country with 65% youth and the median age is 29, if you do not help such youngsters to come up in life, then who is going to help? You are the only organization which have financial powers. You have to judiciously exercise your financial powers, and then whatever decisions you take in public interest, you record the facts under what circumstances you have taken the decision. What prevents you from doing that? Because you do not do that at a later on when some investigation is there, the investigator finds that there was no application of mind while taking the decision. The investigator says that since you have not recorded, that means you had some personal interest. You had, because you had that is why for omission and commission you are being charged. You are being charged for you cannot penalize the new youngsters. You cannot penalize the youngsters. We are telling that you become job creators. You must proactively come forward and help them. If you help them, then accounts will not become NPA. Accounts are becoming NPA mostly, in most, I'm not making any sweeping statement, mostly because we create so much of problem to the entrepreneur that later on he also finds a way to put the banker into problem. Otherwise, our people are very good. Our people are good. If you are giving them here, they will remember you for ages.
Absolutely, absolutely.
Even some loans, some 40 years back, these people are seeing me, salam, sir, namaskar, like that. Where, in which service you will get this?
Correct, sir. Correct. Wonderful, sir.
If you have some personal interest, I'm telling them that if you have some personal interest, then you pay for it.
Correct.
If you are not having any personal interest, you are given the discretion to take a decision. You take the decision.
So nice of you, sir. It's really, unending discussions will go on if you put ourselves.
Sir, one point I would like to mention here.
Yes, sir.
What you said is absolutely correct.
Because this is the 75th Azadi ka Amrut Mahotsav hai. हम रोकेंगे नहीं किसी को, sir.
Actually, now what Samir sir, Dr. Samir sir mentioned is absolutely correct.
Correct.
Because what I'm practically I'm doing is linking the bankers and the entrepreneurs. I personally visit the industry, verify the documents. Almost 60-70% I will do work, whether it is genuine or not. Then the bankers will be bring it to the platform. Then they will also see openly what is the existing, what is the thing. And see that almost 90% of the work has been sanctioned. Almost work has been done. Because I'm openly telling, because this is a very good link I'm trying to practically able to do this. Instead of doing only on record, sometimes the record is important for them also. But as a MSME, we have also has certain to work, how to link these entrepreneurs and the bankers. Because we have got every month we have to tell how many entrepreneurs you are linked with the bankers, how many entrepreneurs got a sanction from the bank. All these things we have to do. Because this is like, we have to work where the entrepreneurs should be benefited and also their work industry should also grow. And the discussion with the bankers, corresponding bankers, any bank, like any nationalist banks, when they are using or implementing our MSME schemes, we have to also have to play a major role in bringing them on the common platform. And it's tried that it should be also be put in a proper forum so that they will also get the benefit of the scheme.
Very true, sir. Very true, sir. Here is our one fellow member of our FIIP has raised his hand and he would like to have some question, I think so. Mr. Vijay Chandanji. Yeah, you raised the hand. Yes, sir.
Yeah, my voice is there, loud and clear.
Can you brief your question? So please brief your question so dignitaries can answer that. Yeah.
Sir, thanks to give us the opportunity. आज बैंकर्स और एमएसएमई दोनों साथ में है, तो सर एक छोटा सा रिक्वेस्ट था कि गवर्नमेंट पॉलिसीज तो बनाती है एमएसएमई को खड़ा करने के लिए, बट एक छोटा सा प्रपोजल था कि व्हाई नॉट एमएसएमई एंड बैंकिंग कम टुगेदर. आज के तारीख में कोई भी प्रोजेक्ट डालना है तो सबसे बड़ा इन्वेस्टमेंट लैंड का होता है, तो व्हाई नॉट बैंकर्स एंड एमएसएमई कैन मेक सम आज एमआईडीसी में भी आप छोटा सा भी प्लॉट लेने जा रहे हो तो सर कम से कम 2 करोड़ रुपया लगता है, और 2 करोड़ में एमएसएमई बोलेगा 10% आप डालो 20 लाख रुपया. सर दैट इज द नॉट पॉसिबल टू स्मॉल एमएसएमई to create that much of huge amount for the land only. Why not MSME and bankers come together and make a partner MSME, that they are become a partner with the government and they manufacturers very nicely कि जहाँ पे उनके ऊपर लोड ना हो, बैंकर्स को भी बेनिफिट हो, एमएसएमई को भी बेनिफिट हो, और जो प्रपोजल स्टार्टअप लेके आ रहे हैं, सी आज हम लोग बोल रहे हैं स्टार्टअप सर, स्टार्टअप के लिए आपको 20% डालना है सर, आदमी के पास अगर जो 20% है तो वाई they comes to bank and the MSME.
Yeah, Vijay ji, come to your question. Vijay ji, come to your question, please.
So I request to bankers make us some that scheme that without investment the startup can start up.
Yeah, over to fellow friends,
Startup,
please.
see, as far as startup is concerned, because Reserve Bank of India has also come up with a startup because they deal with more of intangibles. That is why the bankers, the conventional bankers were finding it difficult. That's why they are looking for, they do the pitching and they do the, in the cohort, they apply themselves and then they try to look for investments. Of course, incubation centers are coming up now. Engineering colleges are providing incubations, and also the government also at respective stage, they are coming out with their startup policies, and then they are setting up the incubation centers. As far as startups are concerned, I think for incubation purposes, you can take the benefit there before you look for land. And as far as land matter is concerned, of course, Mr. Rao will be able to tell better. For myself, I feel that instead of horizontal growth, we should look for vertical growth, in the sense that whether it is possible for us to have, like in Europe and all, they have such type industries are not that they have taken large land area. Why is it necessary? You take smaller land area, or there may be some sort of multi-layered sort of area where you can have your industries. Even in Okhla, in Noida and all, there we have such type of industries where in a building itself they have them. So likewise, whether lesser land and such type of structures, MSME government can take a call, I do not know.
Yeah, Vijay ji, again you want to say something? Atul, unmute Mr. Vijay Chandan. Unmute him.
Just
he has raised the hand again. Yeah,
सर वही रिक्वेस्ट था कि स्टार्टअप को आप लोग स्टार्टअप करते हो, बट सर जो आज कोई इंडस्ट्रीज में 20 साल काम कर रहा है एंड ही हैज सम अपॉर्चुनिटी टू वर्क इट आउट, nobody says no you are not a startup, you are the 20 साल पुराना कंपनी है, हम लोग आपको स्टार्टअप में नहीं गिन सकते हैं. And all the SMEs have the same problems, sir. I am facing the same problems. मैं बैंकर्स के पास गया, बोले दी यस नहीं हाँ हूँ करके, what अभी एमएसएमई में मुझे लोन दिया गया है सर, इट इज दी हायर देन दी योर कार लोन, इट इज हायर देन दी योर व्हीकल लोन. आई डोंट अंडरस्टैंड व्हाई इट इज दी so much huge amount. Government says कि भी you can support with the interest.
आप क्या करना चाहते हो? अब क्या करना चाहते
हो? मैंने हेडफोन के लिए प्रोजेक्ट बना के दिया, तो बोले कि you have to start up a new company with the new name, then only it is considered as a startup. Why not current company can become a startup with the manufacturing unit? आप जो बोल रहे हो सर छोटा प्रोजेक्ट के लिए भी, आज अगर जो मैं लैंड लेने को भी जा रहा हूँ सर, आप मुंबई में, आप नोएडा का बात करते हो सर, बॉम्बे में मैं भिवंडी में भी आज जाऊंगा, शांतनु सर बैठे हुए डोंबिवली में, आज 1 करोड़ से नीचे कोई भी आपको छोटा गला नहीं मिलेगा सर.
और उसके अंदर आप हेडफोन बनाना चाहते हो?
यस. और आज अगर जो मेरे
आप अगर हेडफोन बनाना चाहते हो, मैन्युफैक्चरिंग ये है, कितना इन्वेस्टमेंट?
सर आज लैंड का ही आप छोटा प्रोजेक्ट लेने जाओगे
तो वो छोड़िए, आपका यूनिट के लिए इन्वेस्टमेंट, लैंड का अलावा आपका इन्वेस्टमेंट कितना है, उसमें कितना होगा?
5 करोड़ रुपया
एक पर.
मशीनरीज, R&D, प्रोजेक्ट्स, एवरीथिंग ऑल टुगेदर.
आप अभी क्या करते हो आप?
सर हम तो अभी चाइना से, मलेशिया से मैन्युफैक्चरिंग करके ट्रेडिंग करते हैं, और क्या वहाँ पे हमारा ब्रांडिंग करके.
आप ट्रेडिंग करते हो अभी?
हाँ, अभी जो चाइना में जो फैक्ट्री
करते हो, आपका कोई बैंक नहीं है? कोई बैंक है आपका?
नहीं, कैनरा बैंक से बात किया तो बोले कि ठीक है लैंड के लिए आप 20% अरेंज करो. सर 1 करोड़ का 20%, 20 लाख रुपए अगर जो मेरे को तो तुम्हें
मुझे पता नहीं, हम लोग नहीं देखने से पता नहीं है. इंडिविजुअल केसेस आई थिंक इज वेरी डिफिकल्ट फॉर अस टू टेक अप, बट द फैक्ट इज दिस, ये तो सही है, जो अगर आप वो यूनिट खड़ा करना चाहते हो तो उसको कोई फेजेस में कर सकते हैं, फेज 1, फेज 2, फेज 3 इस तरह से कर
सर
सकते
कैसे
हैं.
फेस करेगा? ऑलरेडी प्रोडक्ट आर इन मार्केट, हम लोग चाइना से या मलेशिया से बना के लाते हैं, उसको वहां से पूरा का पूरा यूनिट उठा के इंडिया में डालना है. देयर इज नो फेस. और अगर जो आज के तारीख में आप बोलोगे चाइना, असल चाइना के अंदर हम लोग वो पिछले 20 साल से काम कर रहे हैं, और वहां पे जितने भी मैन्युफैक्चरर हैं सर, गवर्नमेंट इज गिविंग 100% सपोर्ट, लैंड, पानी और लोन जो भी है, जो सारा सब कुछ गवर्नमेंट है. वी हैव ओनली द प्रोडक्शन, हमको खाली प्रोडक्शन देखना है. वो लैंड भी जब गवर्नमेंट का है, बिजली भी गवर्नमेंट में रेट में दे रही है, लोन भी गवर्नमेंट में दे रहा है, एंड गवर्नमेंट ऑल्सो पार्टनर टू सपोर्ट देम फॉर द एक्सपोर्ट. आज वही प्रपोजल मैंने लाया हुआ था, मैंने काफी जन को दिखाया. प्राइवेट वाले इंटरेस्ट ले रहे हैं, बट गवर्नमेंट इज नॉट गोइंग टू इंटरेस्ट ऑन इट. वो बोलते नहीं अरे फिजिबल नहीं है, तुम्हारा सैलरी कितना होगा. अरे सर, आज अगर जो आप मेरे साथ गवर्नमेंट मुझे पार्टनरशिप बनाती है, तो गवर्नमेंट के अंदर आर्मी, नेवी, एयरफोर्स के अंदर वो लोग जर्मनी से इंपोर्ट करते हैं, यूके से इंपोर्ट करते हैं, वही हेडफोन मैन्युफैक्चरिंग करके अगर जो मैं उसको 1.5 लाख में दे रहा हूँ, वो नहीं ले रहे हैं. वो जर्मनी से 5 लाख का हेडफोन लेंगे डेविड क्लर्क का, बट इंडिया के अंदर मैन्युफैक्चरिंग किया हुआ 1.5 लाख रुपए में नहीं लेंगे.
प्रोजेक्ट
विजय जी,
मेरा सुझाव ये है,
नहीं, मेरा रिक्वेस्ट ये था कि दे आर कोलैबोरेट गवर्नमेंट को, आप प्रपोजल कुछ दे रहे तो रिक्वेस्ट
नहीं. चलिए विजय जी, आपका ये इंडिविजुअल थॉट
सुनिए. आपको अगर ये प्रोजेक्ट जो आप करना चाहते हो, आप जो बोल रहे हैं तो सुनने में तो अच्छा लग रहा है, जो आप रिप्लेस करना चाहते हो इंपोर्ट को, ये करना चाहते हो, तो गवर्नमेंट में टेक इंटरेस्ट. सो आई थिंक मिस्टर राव, MSME दिल्ली इन बॉम्बे, they should go and meet the director or deputy director there and then have a discussion with them and find out what can be done about it.
Sir, we have our office in Mumbai, Sakinaka. So there also we can go and approach one point. Second point, this gentleman who is talking about the land. Land is almost always belongs to state government subject. It is a state government subject and also handled by the state department. Where MSME, we are also one of the member in the committee in allotting the land or a shed for the industries. And accordingly, even it has been reserved some percentage for MSMEs only, either in shed or a land allotment. There is a separate allotment for that. That is second point number 2.
Thank you, sir. Thank you. Go ahead.
Point number 3 is, see, whatever the project you do, government cannot take 100% investment on its own and then ask them to, you people come and do all these things. There is some percentage of the amount has to be invested by the entrepreneur also, because you will have some seriousness when you invest on that one, because land is not going to be given free, because we are seeing this land matters in every state. There is varies from state to state, and even every time the board or a corporation goes for acquiring the land, and there's what are the problems they are facing. The judiciary matters also comes into the picture. So this all comes under this state government subject.
Thank you, sir.
That is the one where it is being happening, and I hope the entrepreneurs should first work on the project availability and then project feasibility, and then all discuss matter with the concerned implementing agencies. Because
thank you, sir.
If they just depend only on the government, I don't think it is not a viable system.
Correct. Sumit ji, your last question. Now, henceforth, I request everyone, because time is running ahead. So we have a time constraint because other fellow members are there to have other meetings. Yeah, Sumit ji. I think Sumit ji is disconnected. No problem. So friends, I request now my fellow friend, Shantanu Raste ji. He is our very founder member.
Yeah, before hand over to Shantanu sir, we will honor our guests.
Yeah, that's what I'm going to talk. Yeah. Okay. I'm putting that thought. Don't worry. Yeah. So friend, we are honoring our today's chief guest speakers, and I'm very happy that very warmly, family way the thought process put all together. So we are honoring our guests here virtually, and it will come, sir, officially at your place by courier, sir. Okay.
Yeah.
So we request Samir ji, Sucheta ji, and Gopinath Rao ji to accept our honor through this digital platform. Yeah. Atul, over to you.
Yeah, thank you very much, sir. And as you have mentioned virtually, so we can honor our two guests who are present here physically with the memento. So I request the founder of FIIP, Mr. Nonatji Devkar sir, to honor retired Air Force Officer Ashokji Unkule sir with the FIIP memento. Nonatji sir, please. Sorry?
PPT stop kara.
Yes.
So there are two gentlemen from the defense service, and we are honoring them. I hope that we must clap after they're having their honoring appropriate activity. So this is a golden moment for us. We are going to appreciate our defense personnel and friend. They are there physically to inaugurate the program. And three of you, definitely, very soon you will get at your home our love of token for this beautiful contribution. So we are honoring to our physical present guest there. Navnath ji is felicitating them, honoring him. It's a great moment for basically FIIP, that how we are making the things to be more and more touchable, because without name, even everywhere now, soldier is respected. That is the value created in this. I'm very happy. FIIP also working towards that unity, that integrity by felicitating our great, basically the, defense person.
Thank you very much, sir. And then I request CB Katrabad sir to honor retired Captain Satishji Pandey sir with the FIIP memento. CB Katrabad sir, please.
We must clap them. And yeah, thank you. Yeah. So thank you very much for felicitating and honoring our guest. Yeah, now I think so, Atul, it's time to Shantanu, and Shantanu will definitely lead.
Yeah, thank you very much, sir. So
okay, so may I start?
Yes.
Thank you, everyone. I'm here for the takeaways and vote of thanks. So thank you, everyone. I extend a really hearty vote of thanks to our speakers, three speakers, Dr. Samir Barua, Mrs. Suchitra Acharya, and Mr. Gopinath Rao. I think these three people are having a lot of, and they shared already a lot of knowledge to us. So I think I can just what type of points I noted for every speaker. I think Samir Barua gives us a very good knowledge about, and the very specific sentence which I have written over here is there is always a gap in between the policy and practice, and that gap should be minimized as far as possible. That gap should get minimized. Then Suchita Acharya, obviously, she's a woman entrepreneur. So from woman point of view, she explained about a lot of points, and these are really important. A woman is one very what you call as all women are in entrepreneurship, and that plays a very important role in the economy, I can say. So woman doesn't need any motivation. So I think that is a very what she have given to us. Obviously about MSME, lot of schemes are there. So I think Ravji gives us very important information about MSME. MSME always plays a major service sectors and schemes which are MSME through MSME. For the even export also there is, I think we already know about it. There is the IC scheme for export, and that is also very good. I already availed that scheme, so I know very important for all the micro and all the companies. That is a very good scheme for us. Then MSME gives hand-holding support to grow and contribute for economy and society. So that is really important. So I really means I thank you all, three people who shared their time and from their busiest schedule to grace the occasion. Today we had an opportunity to learn a lot of knowledge through these three people, their thoughts, and obviously we can utilize that knowledge in our business, in our daily business. So your thoughts have enlightened our minds, and my gratitude to all three of you for gracing the occasion. So obviously any event like this cannot happen overnight. So there are a lot of effort behind that. It is not only a one-man show. It is always, there is a team behind that. So it requires a lot of planning. We have been fortunate enough to be backed by the team of very proactive and dedicated team of FIIP members. So I think we can definitely clap for them. And I'm short of words for their involvement and their willingness to take on completion of tasks beyond their comfort zone. So this is also very important. A special mention to our respected founder of FIIP, Navnath Devkarji, co-founder Mrs. Urmila Devkarji, directors obviously. You know, Dr. Popotra Mohita is a very what we call it, hats off to them, because he is one of the major person. He conduct the whole meeting today. So I really hats off to you, sir. Thank you very much. CB Katrabadji, because he have the major role in designing all the program and PPT and everything. So not only Katrabadji, but I think Atul Boradeji, and obviously they both have the team and they've done it very well. And Dr. Pranja Kumarji is also our director. That stimulates us to do our best and standing as pillars of strength. These are our pillars in our FIIP. So I would also like to thank all the who work behind the scene, all the officials who are working behind the scene to make this event successful. Thank you very much. Last but not the least, a big thank to each one of you who attended this live program 76 Independence Day celebration. So thank you very much once for all, and over to you. Thank you very much. It's my pleasure.
We will stand for the yeah.
Yes. Thank you.
Santanu, we will stand.
Yes.
Vande Mataram.
Yes.
Yeah. So
thank you.
After Vande Mataram, the program will get over. Yeah.
Yes.
Thank you, sir. Thank you, FIIP members,
Thank you
for organizing such a wonderful program.
Yes.
Vande Mataram, Vande Mataram, Sujala Sufala Malayaj Shitala Sasya Shamala Mataram, Vande Mataram, Shubhrajosna Pulatitayamini, Fullakusumita Drumadala Shobhini, Suhasini Sumadhura Bhashini, Sukhadam Varadam Mataram, Vande Mataram, Vande Mataram.
Jai.
Hey.
Thank you very much. Thank you, Lord. Thank you, sir. Thank you, Lord, for excellent organization. Good.
Thank you.
Thank you, everyone.
Yes.
Yeah, thank you so much, sir.
We will be
Hello,
meeting
Shantanu, sir.
Hello, madam.
Yeah. After a lot of time we are meeting.
No.
Yeah, he told me when he came to know about you.
Yeah. Yeah, Dombivli. Yeah.
Yeah, but it is really fantastic, no?
Yeah, I really miss Dombivli, sir.
Can
Shantanu,
we
sir. Pass on the
can we
message.
stop recording?
Huh?
Can we stop recording? Means
Yeah.
recording is going on. So like
Just a minute.
Recording, I think.
discussion unnecessary. Atul,
Just a
please
minute.
stop the recording.
Yeah, yes.
Recording. Yeah, please stop the recording. ते नंतर कट करू आपण. So we can chat.
Yes.
आणि मग ते गॅलरी दाखवा तुम्ही. म्हणजे हे बंद करा.
हाँ, मतलब
प्रेझेंटेशन
ये-
बंद करा. प्रेझेंटेशन बंद करा. प्रेझेंटेशन बंद करा आणि गॅलरी